all I would say is you put it ahead of Seinfeld and you quote Seinfeld all the time. Is that nostalgia talking, or is that your actual opinion?
I think it's probably prisoner of the moment and a little nostalgia. Probably both. But it just, I guess, it made me sad. And I like to emphasize how I'm feeling when I come on the show.
Feel your feelings.
Yes.
Yeah, you should.
Okay.
Although Matt
not
LaFleur,
trying to be grumpy and grouchy. That's what it made me feel.
You don't have to try. And so
you are such a blank.
And so where are you today? And what are you doing?
What are you doing? I'm at a golf course, the Tellurian golf outing, which we've been a part of, I think, almost as long as probably the Greater Bucky Open. I think we've been out here. This is probably our 7th year, something like that. We always have. There's always a ton of great guests. I'm working on getting. So I saw the list of guests, and you got Gilbert Brown and Frankie, and you got a really good crew.
Dorsey Levin's my favorite guy I've ever covered.
So I have put a request in to get Dorsey. I've put a request in. I think we're going to try to get Robert Brooks because of the wide receiver spot. And in fairness, I did not know that Bryce Paup might be here. And Bryce Paup, I think, is one of those guys who ended up going on. And I've always asked this question. Who has left Green Bay and had a better career post-Green Bay?
Bryce
Paup might be one of those guys. And those are kind of Leroy Butler, I think, is going to be out here. Obviously, Gilbert and that crew. So we'll try and corral a couple of guests. It's always fun. We've had Don Mikowski on many times. He's been great. And that's kind of where we're at.
And what exactly is Jesse's role?
I don't know. I don't know.
We're not sure at this point, Jason.
But you're there, and we can't get a camera angle that includes you, which I would argue is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just curious by that decision.
I think I'm going to be getting up here and helping corral some of the guests here to hop on as the morning goes on. I can play meteorologist if you'd like to. Raining now, been raining for like 48 hours, probably not going to golf today.
Oh, no. It's that bad?
No, we are going to be. We are going to be golfing at 11 o'clock.
Whose hand are you shaking?
So we're going to have Robert Brooks join us. Do you want to do it now, or do you want to wait? Let's do it now.
Lead off strong. Go for it.
We're going to get right out of the gates, Jason. Robert Brooks in the house today. He's at the Tellurian outing.
Will we be able to
Let's
see
get
him
Robert
on
this. There. Let's see if we can do that.
What's going on?
We still can't see him.
It's a little cold.
I'm not in charge of the tech part of this operation, so.
Well, welcome in Robert Brooks from the Tellurian Golf.
Robert, do you remember Jason Wilde as the beat guy? You know, I'm trying to remember what year you left Green Bay. He was a young whippersnapper, had a hula hoop earring.
Okay.
How else would you describe yourself, Jason, to Robert if he doesn't remember you?
So
give him a hard time.
So my first year covering the team was 96, and obviously that was when Robert suffered his knee injury. And then he came back in 97 and had a 1,000-yard season alongside Antonio Freeman, and I wrote a big story for the yearbook about the dynamic duo that those two became. But you had also mentored Free, and it was kind of you and Sterling Sharp were kind of the start of the lineage of always having these great number one wide receivers, which makes it perfect for us to talk to you because the Packers haven't had one since they moved on from Davante Adams. When you look back on the succession that you guys used to have from Sharp to you and you to Free and Free to Donald Driver and so on, what did that mean for your locker room and for your wide receiver group that there was a clear-cut the guy in your group?
Well, just having a guy, I mean, I think that it's great for the quarterback, great for the team. When you are the guy, though, you have to take it upon yourself to just kind of mentor the younger guys because that's all it's going to do is make your team better. It's going to make your job easier. It's going to, take away a lot of the double teams, and that was what my mentality was, where if I could help Free, if I can get him up to speed faster, it helps me get open. It helps our team win more games. So I think guys just have to take that upon themselves. Now, I don't know if that happened, where that gap fell off or where they fell off when somebody did not take it upon themselves to do that.
Well, when you don't have a guy who's accomplished like Sharp was and you were, there's not someone in there that's able to to have that kind of juice with the guys. How did you? So you said it's important to have someone who mentors the guys because it makes everybody better. How did you go about doing that when it became your time to be that guy? 94, 95, 96?
Just being perfectly honest, I came from the University of South Carolina where Sterling had just left. I was a freshman when he was a senior. Sterling, I watched him growing up as a running back. I was not a wide receiver when I was playing in high school. I got a scholarship as a running back. I decided to change to wide receiver because of Sterling. And when I got to Green Bay, to be honest, Sterling was the guy, and I was there, and I was a young guy. I didn't know him personally. We were not great friends, but what I did was I watched him. I just took it upon myself. I want to watch this guy. He's the best that there is in the game right now, in my opinion, and I should watch him. And that's what I did. Then when Free came along, I realized that, hey, it was hurting Sterling when I was not up to speed. He was getting double teamed, and I did not want that for myself. I was like, I'm tired of the double teams. I'm getting a slant, and I'm getting blasted by the safety. And so my best bet is to get Free up to speed as fast as possible and absolutely dump any type of information and knowledge I can get on him.
Robert, did Sterling, did he help you at all besides you watching? So there wasn't like, hey, young fella, I need you. So you learned that lesson and said,
yes.
Because Sterling obviously was a big personality.
Yes.
The ball needed to go to him.
Absolutely.
That was never, correct me if I'm wrong, you wanted the ball, but that was never really how you viewed it.
Well, again, because I saw what it did to our team when Sterling was in that mentality. We were good, but it was hurting the team a lot. Brett would throw in the double coverage or triple coverage sometimes because Sterling wanted the ball, and we needed to get him a certain amount of touches. So when I got that, call to be the go-to guy, I don't know. I just decided to myself I wasn't going to do it that way. Sterling was a guy who he led by his example. He showed up every day. He went to work. He did his business. He's a great student of the game. Coverage reading. There were times when we would send him in motion, and he would tell Brett what the coverage were, early on. And so he was just very, very student. So
Brett didn't know what a dime defense was for the longest time too, right?
Exactly. So Sterling just again. I think it was just there was a changeover. There was a changing of the guard that was happening, and he was in the middle of that. And I think it took away from what he probably would have done normally. Nobody was trying to step on his toes. We were all just trying to win, So I think when I came up, I just took a different mentality about it.
Yeah, so because we had this discussion last year, and obviously Green Bay, very young receiving core, and nobody is elevated to the point of a Robert Brooks, of a Free. Everybody is still kind of jockeying.
Yeah.
And the debate was, Sterling is a star, and it takes a lot of oxygen. If you were a coach or a GM, how would you want to get your receiving core? Would you want to have it where there's a definitive one, like a Justin Jefferson? Or would you rather have 3 or 4 really good players? How would you try to go about doing it?
Well, you have to have that guy. I mean, I think you have to have that guy. But the type of guy that guy is going to dictate how your team goes. If that guy is a guy who he has to have the ball and he has to have a certain amount of touches, and there is going to be some flack if he doesn't, it's going to create a problem, I think, going down the line when your young guys do start to develop and they start to get more touches and whatnot. I really think that the Packers have, we just haven't had that guy who could delineate himself from all the other guys, and so you hadn't had anybody who could now be comfortable enough. I'm the guy. Now I can relax, and I know I'm not going to be put as the second receiver again. I'm the number one, and it's known. I think they just haven't had that, and once we get that title, and once they say you're going to be the go-to guy, they let you know. So you're going to get a certain amount of touches when you're the go-to guy.
Is the only way that happens from a financial standpoint?
I don't think so. I think the league's built on money. You're going to play who you pay. But I think it comes from the head coaches. It comes from the offense coordinator. He's got to let one of the guys know. Listen, we're going to give you this amount of shots at it. Okay, you're going to get 15 balls. You're going to get 11 balls a game. The other guy's going to get 5 or 6. opportunities, and it's just that's the nature of the beast. I thought personally I like Dobbs, but I thought that they should have went his direction. Now the injuries with the concussions was an issue, but I liked him, and I thought that he could have developed into that kind of guy because he has a skill set. The other guys were more like role players, and that was my mentality. I would have probably came in as a GM and said, "You're the guy," and let him know that. And I think that would have probably elevated and changed his mentality, how he approached things.
Yeah, how did Holmgren handle because with Sterling, as you mentioned, you had to keep Sterling happy or things were going to be a little eggshelly where you're walking around. And then when he got injured, did he kind of have a thought of, you know what, Robert Brooks and free? Was it? So it was never. Do you think he was relieved that he could then kind of almost go about his progressions and everything else and not having that guy?
Yeah, well, I think what happened in the offseason, Ron Wolf and Mike, they went out in the offseason and tried to get a bunch of guys after that. And they even tried to go get Andre during that time in the offseason. Wasn't able to get in, so I was the go-to guy by default. And so in the summer and just before training camp, Mike came to me and said, obviously, we tried to go out and get guys, and he was honest about it. He wasn't able to do that. So, you're our guy.
Nice confidence builder. We wanted 15 guys.
Yeah. And people, I always tell the story, that was one of the reasons I started jumping in the crowd, and I took that to the next level because I wanted something to take the minds of the fans off of Sterling. Oh, so we don't have Sterling. We don't have a go-to guy. Now we're stuck with Robert Brooks, who we don't know what's going to come of him. So, that was one of the reasons why I did that.
So how would you, because after the Packers drafted Golden, who first time, and you saw it with Mark Murphy, everybody's excited about it. How would you handle it if you, in that situation, you just said it, if they would have went out and picked up a bona fide, like a guy that they paid a bunch to, how would Robert Brooks handle it if you're Jaden Reed or Dontavion Wicks? Right. How would you approach this offseason going into the season after a draft that Green Bay just had?
Well, I think if I were one of those young guys, I would, off-season would probably be my best off-season training and mental.
You would be frustrated. I mean, in-house with your family and you would say, "This, what does this mean?"
And those guys are playmakers. I mean, it's not like they're. I just think they've been trying to spread the ball a little too much. You got to have a guy that when we get in these moments, he's going to get an opportunity to make a play, and we're going to win and lose with that guy. Okay, and I don't think they've done that. I think they're trying to spread the ball around a lot. And, when you got a young quarterback, you kind of want to do that. You don't want him to have too much of a crutch, but you got to give him a crutch sometime, And I think that's been the issue.
Talking with Packers Hall of Famer Robert Brooks live from the Tellurian Celebrity Golf Outing. For a guy that was just the default go-to guy, in 1995, Robert Brooks caught 102 passes for 1,497 yards and 13 touchdowns, including that 99-yard touchdown catch. Is that your greatest?
What play
was
favorite? What play was that?
Sluggo.
Sluggo.
Yeah. We're
you had a corner that bit.
Well, we're playing the Bears, and the defensive back that I was playing against played for Clemson, so we had some some history. And so going into that game, we had practiced Sluggo, but we knew Mike Holmgren was never going to call Sluggo backed up.
Not on the one, yeah.
No, because we got him tight Mike. So tight Mike's never going to call that. So we're backed up, and we get on the 1 yard line, and Brett comes to the huddle. He gets the play, and he comes and he said, "Brooksy, you're not going to believe this." I said, "What?" He said, "We got Sluggo." and he goes, "Let's eat." And I said, "Let's eat." That was it. We had practiced it all week. We knew they were going to be a little aggressive on it. We didn't think Mike was going to call it, to be honest with you. We thought he'd never call it.
When did you know? Did you know when he was jumping that slant? When did you know this was going to the house?
We knew all week that if he called the play, it's going to the house. Because, number one, he's not going to catch me.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I catch you, he's not going to catch me. The play looked so good in practice. We had a chance that Mike would call it. But if a play didn't look good in practice, Mike would throw it out. So he didn't throw it out. So we knew it looked good, but we just Mike's never going to call Sluggo backed up. He's going to punt the ball. He's going to run Edgar Bennett up the middle and punt the ball. Right?
Was you tight, Mike? Was Mike tight?
Oh yeah, he was seriously tight. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Total eggshells, man. You got to walk on eggshells all the time.
Robert, you mentioned jumping in the stands, and I have to tell you, I got rid of most of my CDs from the 90s, sold them at some recycling place, but I kept my autographed copy of Jump in the Stands. I still have it.
Great song.
Can you still sing it?
Yeah. I'm working on a new song. Got a new one.
Really?
Here's the sad thing. I have had this song written, not recorded, but written. Had the music done, everything for it for almost however long it's been since Rodgers was talking about retiring. It's like 10 years.
Okay.
But seriously. And I was like, dude, can you retire so I can write? Because it's about love and it's about LaFleur and all those guys. It's really to kind of spark them and do some inspiration. Because I think that's what Jump in the Stands did for our team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just it was inspirational. Got the fans involved. It was a special time. You know.
Well, when you're ready to launch it, I know a radio show that would be willing to help you do that.
We sing on this show all the time.
All the time?
Yeah,
Okay.
Fridays. We sing much to the chagrin of much of our audience.
Well, I'm in the mixing stage right now. I mixed it on the plane when I was coming here.
Wow.
So go back, do my parts, and it's going to be coming soon, very soon.
All right.
All right. Well, you'll hear it here first, hopefully, on Wilde and Tausch.
I'll make sure I get a phone number from somebody. I'll call you first. How about that?
That's awesome.
That'd be perfect. Yes, Tausch can give you my number. Now, let me ask you this, though, because this is why I brought it up. You talked about why you did it. Obviously, and I think Leroy is scheduled to appear at Tellurian as well, right?
He is, yes.
I always found it fascinating. You know, he's in the Hall of Fame. He uses the Lambeau Leap as a great marketing tool for him, along with his gold jacket. But I always said he invented it, but you perfected it.
Yeah,
Do you feel like you get enough credit for that?
Look at Wilde stirring that pot.
Listen,
this is what he does. He's a pot stirrer.
If you look at the film, I mean, he jumped in this crowd that one time in '93. 94, 94, nobody jumped in the crowd. He didn't. It was not even a thing in '94. And in '95, when I started doing it, it became this, you know.
So Leroy and Reggie, that Oakland game, that was a one and done?
Yeah.
And then they went a full season with nothing?
Yeah, know your history.
Is that right?
100%.
Yes.
Wow.
That's the real story.
And you just decided to
and I told
get it
you
back.
because of
Sterling.
Sterling and the situation with the fans and how I became the default go-to guy. I decided I'm gonna jump in the crowd. So that's the way the story is told. I said, Roy, I'm going to use that gesture, my man, and I proceeded to jump all in the stands. And so you see the rest is just history. There's a special bond between the players and fans, you see.
He's dropping lyrics right there for you, for those of you that are too young to reference it. But I do it right away.
Exactly.
So Tausch can tease me and say that I'm stirring up the pot, but the truth of the matter is that does not become popular without you, period.
No.
I had no clue nothing happened in '94.
If you Google it, it says Robert Brooks popularized the Lambeau Leap. I mean, that's what I did.
Okay, we need to improve. I'm going to go in and fix the Wikipedia page.
I own the trademark for it, so for the word Lambeau
So wait,
Leap,
do I owe you royalties every time I say it?
Yes.
Like Super Bowl?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Robert, last thing, because I know you got other folks you want to see. All your former teammates.
Let me tell you something. It's raining. It's not great out.
Yeah,
I think Robert might just stay for the whole show. I'm not going to speak. I'm not speaking for Robert here, but
great golf course though. I played
beautiful
it before.
course.
Beautiful, man.
You any
wish
good?
I could have played. I'm all right. I play golf. I love golf. Yeah, I love golf.
I'm trying to get Jason to break 200 and he won't play. So that's a whole conversation for another day.
We'll keep working on that. I appreciate you sharing that with Robert. So, Robert, back in '96, you obviously had the major knee injury. Things that medicine has come a long way in 20 years. You know, Tausch had 2 ACL tears, but he's an offensive lineman. He doesn't have to recapture what you had to recapture. When he came back in '97 and had a 1,000-yard season alongside Free. I'm curious, Christian Watson, obviously you're following the team since you're able to break down Romeo Doubs, et cetera. So when you look at Christian Watson, and I understand it's 20 years later, but what are the challenges for him coming back from an ACL as a super fast wide receiver as opposed to a big right tackle like Tausch?
Well, coming back, I was able to come back fairly fast, but I was known for my off-season training. I don't know how he trains in the off-season. I went about it a completely different way. I kind of just headlong. I mean, I could run in so many weeks, and it was just a very, very fast turnaround for me. So a lot of getting used to the way it felt, I got to that stage early. And so I was able to test it early, and I didn't miss a practice. I think I went through all training camp and went through the whole entire season, didn't miss practice or anything. I don't think I missed the game after coming back from that. Now, with Christian, again, I don't know his off-season regimen, but if he has a great off-season regimen, I think he should be fine. Even back then when we were with the medicine and the type of rehab and things like that we had. Now it's, you got red light therapy, you got all these different new technologies, oxygen therapy and things like that can help you recover a lot faster. I think if he dives into those types of things, he can be right back to where he was. Maybe even better.
Do you think if you would have had that stuff? I mean, I remember because it was sad that you played again in '98 and you just had all the subsequent issues. You sat out '99. You came back and played, I think, with the Broncos for a little while in 2000, right?
Yeah, because what happens is, when you're finely tuned, you get one little thing off, and let's say you lose a couple of degrees in flexion in your knee or something like that, it throws your gait off, and then that's when I started having the back issue.
Right.
And then the hamstring pulls. I would always pull my left hamstring, my back would tighten up, and so it was always this like cascading issue, and I just thought that, hey, listen, I still have the wire in my knee. We got the old, back then you had the wire and the screws, and it's a whole other type of surgery. So, I was fortunate to be able to come back at all during that time.
Well, it was great covering you, whether you remember me or not, and it was awesome to catch up with you today.
Hey, the fact that you got some love for Jump in the Stands, because that's a great song. I mean, even if it's not mine, it's a great song. I'm just telling you.
We will have Hunter producing back in the studio, track it down, the digital version, so we can play it during the show.
Hey, listen,
Robert,
I think it's on Apple Music, man. You can get it, brother.
Let's go.
Yeah,
okay.
Come on, now.
Come on, Chase, get it out there.
I just listen to the CD when I want to hear it.
Okay.
But we look forward to you releasing the follow-up hit on our airwaves.
It's called We Lambo Leap, y'all. I'll tell you the title.
Okay. Robert, we appreciate your time, buddy. Thanks so much.
I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
That is Robert Brooks, the man who made the Lambo Leap famous after it was invented by Leroy Butler. We will have more from the Tellurian Celebrity Golf outing, including Tausch. But Tausch has to tell us first about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Indeed, there is no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now, because Pella is offering up to 6 years of 0% finance. Set your free in-home consultation. You commit to nothing at this point. They'll listen to your vision and suggest the Pella materials and customizations to make it a reality. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions do apply. This deal ends May 31st, so visit PellaWI.com to learn more.
We will see if we can get a different camera angle so we can see both Jesse and Tausch and whoever else may join them.
I think the Magic Man. I think coming up next is going to be the Magic Man, I do believe.
Oh, another one of our favorites. He's been a friend of our show for a long time. We look forward to that. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's your Green Bay football buddy John Kuhn here, reminding you to buckle up for safety whenever you get in your vehicle. Whether you're driving to work, school, shopping, or to catch the big game, remember, click it or ticket. Buckling up saves lives. Every trip, every time. Don't risk it, guys. It's not worth the ticket or the danger. Click it or ticket. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Brought to you by Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
On Thursday, May 22nd, join Sharp Literacy for the 9th annual Unwrapped Milwaukee fundraising event from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 3rd Street Market Hall. Unwrapped is an evening of community, creativity, and food. Top area chefs will create gourmet appetizer, entree, and dessert bites using McDonald's ingredients. The fundraiser will support Sharp's STEAM-based educational program serving thousands of urban elementary students in 47 Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine schools. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Start your summer with a spotless ride at Tsunami Express Car Wash. Hey, it's Brad Nortman from KBN. This Memorial Day, Tsunami Express Car Wash is offering an incredible deal. From May 19th to May 26th, get your first month of any membership plan for just $10. Plus, unlock access to the Member Fast Lane. And of course, use Tsunami Express's free amenities, including vacuums and mat cleaners. This Memorial Day sale is only available May 19th through May 26th. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com/Memorial Day.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's the Wilde and Tausch Summer Tour. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Live for the Wilde and Tausch Summer Tour from Trappers Turn Golf Course.
From a Packer fan, the best in the land. I'm a
Robert Brooks's Jump in the Stands. It's a 1997, 96, 97 it came out. Thanks to Robert for spending some time with us, giving us his insights into wide receiver dynamics, among other things.
Pretty interesting stuff there.
Super interesting. I smell a double dip.
So I think it's definitely double dippable. Just like, what is Pizza Hut's got a triple dippable.
The Cheesy Bites
Chipotle.
I don't understand the Sterling Sharp dynamic. I guess I just
sure you
have
do.
you had a. Oh, I mean, I do. I went on the team. why I say this, and I think Robert Brooks doesn't get enough credit, because this golden age of, well, I can't even say golden age of Packer football, from a receiver standpoint, the fact that it's carried out, Robert Brooks is kind of the trailblazer in that.
Indeed.
And I hadn't ever really looked at it. I think he gets a lot of short shrift when it comes to, because he was injured during that Super Bowl run, what he did and how he approached it and how he taught Antonio Freeman had a butterfly and or a cascade, however you want to look at it, effect that, just like with me, I saw how Frankie Winters and Marco Rivera treated me. You want to do that to Bulaga and to Josh Sitton, because it's not, I don't think it's like that everywhere. And we've always said, well, the receiver spot here, you've had all this talent, and you've never really had the diva. Like, you've had guys, and trust me, there's stuff behind the scenes that people don't know about, and that's fine. But when you have those guys leading and guys are seeing it, it repeats itself. That's how culture's grown.
Right.
And I think Robert Brooks is completely undervalued in how important that piece of this whole thing goes. It has to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can make a really good argument. It started with him. The Lambeau leap and the fact that nothing happened in '94, there's just a lot there. He saw how things went with a certain wideout and said, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to pout and be a baby when they come and tell me, hey, we're trying to get a guy better than you in here. And instead, what does he do? Goes up and lights up 102 catches. That's what this is about. And kudos to him, man. I knew his story. I did not know it to that degree. I love when you learn something, and I just learned something.
Yeah. He was great to He was great.
Yep.
He was great to cover.
Yeah.
And it was nice that he shared that, because here's the question I have for you, though, because he tells that story. It is a great story. It does take a level of self-confidence, and there is no I in team to be willing to mentor other guys, right? I've always thought that is one of the great things about the teams I've gotten to cover. You know, Raleigh McKenzie helping you did not help Raleigh McKenzie's own job prospects, right? It helped the team. It helped you, but he did it anyway. Robert Brooks, let's be honest, when he started to have injury issues with his back and his hamstring, as he talked about after the ACL, it opened the door for Free to be the guy.
And then Bounce City.
Right.
Yeah,
what is it that allows you guys, because I've always thought that was one of the coolest things about a healthy culture of an NFL team. And believe me, you had some teams that they weren't as good about it as others. But I always thought that was amazing, that because there's got to be part of you that if you're insecure, you're like, well, I'm not going to help him, like a certain quarterback might have said about the first-round pick, because the feeling is, I'm not going to help him take my job. What does it take to be able to do that? Because you did do it for Brian Bulaga and those other guys.
I think there's just watching, again, what happens before and understanding that you need to have team success to have any type of success, because if you aren't winning or if you're not trending in the right way, once they bring in a new coach or new administrator, like, that's how you build things, is you establish trust with people, and they see and understand there's a value in that. The Packer way, or Packer people, as Ted Thompson used to say, that's what this is about. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have that bond with your teammates, that doesn't mean you want guys to take your job. And trust me, you can work hard and do all that stuff, and if you still want to be better and you want to establish yourself, but you being a jerk store to somebody else is not going to help your team, and it's not going to help you as a player. And I think you get that pounded home. Now, I'm not going to sit there and tell guys, hey, you need to do all that. Now, if they ask, you're going to tell them what you think and how you believe. And I think there's a fundamental difference in how you approach in that way.
So now that I have eyes on both of you, at least on video, I do not have eyes on the rest of the 360 scene. Do we have others approaching, or is this a good time to tell us about Coors Light right now?
Well, I'm going to tell you about the American Family Insurance Championship. That returns to Madison with 2 new exciting changes this year. Wisconsin's own Steve Stricker hosts the PGA Tour Champions event June 6th through the 8th. We'll be out at the TPC Wisconsin on the 6th. Its new home, of course, which is the TPC Wisconsin. The AmFam Champ also debuts a new team competition this year. 2-person teams will compete in best ball and scramble formats. The American Family Insurance Championship, June 6th through the 8th. Get details and ticket information at amfamchampionship.com.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on from the Tellurian golf outing at Trapper's Turn in the Dells. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
ESPN Wisconsin's Brian Balaga here for my new friends at Surfside. There's only one thing better than Surfside and golf, and that's Surfside iced teas and lemonade plus vodka on the golf course. This golf season, there's no better drink to enjoy on the golf course. Surfside is light, refreshing, and made with real vodka and real brewed tea. Plus, there's only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. Cheers to hitting the fairway, and cheers to Surfside. It's tea time. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Who's looking for a better deal? Well, Cousin Sub's $10 meal deals just got better. Available online only. Order your 7.5-inch meal deal today and upgrade it with a large fountain beverage, large fry, regular shake, or regular Wisconsin cheese curds. Prices vary by item from $1 to $2 a piece. Make it better and make it your own way. Now that's a better deal. For further details or to order, go to cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available online at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Hey, I'm Mike with Infinity Exteriors. Over 25,000 homes across Wisconsin were hit hard by this most recent storm. And like clockwork, out-of-town roofers are already flooding in and then disappearing the moment the job's done. Choose local. We live here, we work here, and we stand behind every roof we install. Since 1997, Infinity Exteriors has helped more than 30,000 homeowners protect their homes and their peace of mind with no hidden costs, no fine print, and no confusion. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Drive into Memorial Day all month long at Cunis. Get the best savings of the year at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis locations in Oak Creek and Greenfield. Get huge discounts on the Buick Envista and Envision SUVs or the rugged GMC Terrain and Sierra. Visit your local dealer website for one of our 10 pre-owned super specials. You won't find deals like this anywhere else. Plus, we have unbeatable service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Brian Bohm, General Manager of Cunis of Oak Creek.
And I'm Bill Eater, General Manager of Cunis of Greenfield.
We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials.
And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear lifetime powertrain warranty, included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases.
Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
Drive into Memorial Day all month long at Cunis.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Tausch and Jesse roll on from the Tellurian Celebrity Golf Outing in the Dells. I see a lot of pointing. Jesse, how are things going over there?
On-site producing. We're doing a heck of a job here, making sure we can get others. So here's the thing: because it's raining, a lot of guests are hanging out here in the clubhouse,
and they all want to come on the show.
There's a lot of fun going on. A lot of people we're seeing that we haven't seen for a while. This is a fun time for all, but it is a little bit of organized chaos as we're trying to sift through everything here. So, if you came out of the basement and came here with us today, you would be able to experience it with us here in person. But instead, you're over there and you're like, "What's going on over there?"
That's the way you chose to take that, huh? Okay.
Jason, I don't know if you noticed, I've been thrown under the bus quite a bit this week.
I'll say this, Jesse, since he called for Pat Murphy to get fired, they're undefeated.
3-0.
Which is pretty good.
That has clearly been a game changer. All right, well, I would just say this. I would like to be nimble with so many of your guests. A lot of pointing, a lot of waving, a lot of, hey, what's ups. So hopefully we've got some folks that'll sit down with you when they become available.
There we go. We got the Magic Man. We got the Magic Man joining us.
Joining us now. Giving up Jesse's headphones to make this possible. Maybe you could give up your seat as well. He is another one. Wow, you guys got two cameras operating. What an operation it is over there. It is the great Don Mikowski on Wilde and Tausch, longtime friend of the show. Don, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing really well. Voice is a little raspy today from last night.
Oh, you were singing last night, right?
No, we weren't singing. But
just jabbering.
Just jabbering, talking a lot, you know. So
I have been – so for anybody that doesn't know, Don is a musical would you say guru?
I would say genius. It's a hobby.
Yeah, it's a hobby.
I'm a musician.
But you played, and this is when you were playing.
Yeah.
You went over to the old Rush Center, Brown County Arena.
Correct.
And you played with?
Poison. Brett Michaels and Poison.
Can you imagine that?
On stage. It was back in 1990, and there was 20,000 people there. And this was back when Poison had the #1 song in the country, Every Rose Has a Thorn, right? So Brett Michaels and his management team got a hold of me. They heard that I had played his song a lot, and they invited me to come up and play with him in concert. Although the day before, they're like, "Man, we got to see you at sound check rehearsal because
wanted to see what you had,
dude. We can't see if it's just all blabber or can you really do it." So when I got there, the band was all up there, and Brett Michaels, he was like, "All right, dude." He shook my hand. He goes, "You're me. I'm going to sit in the stands and watch. You do the whole song by yourself with my band." And we did it, and they were like high-fiving. It was really good. And the band was like, "Oh my God, Brett, he plays guitar way better than you." So it was fun.
Were you more nervous for that than when you're taking snaps at Lambeau against the Bears?
No, I wasn't nervous. Either way.
Singing, you weren't nervous?
No, because I played in the band since high school, and I played.
Yeah, but in front of 25,000 people.
Yeah, man. And then I mean, that was probably the first time that I played in front of that many people, but I had played in front of people before, and I ended up becoming really good friends with Darius Rucker and Hootie the Blowfish. And those guys invited me. I played with them probably like eight to 9 times in concert. Played at Summerfest at the Miller Stage and 20,000 people there, and played with them all over different cities. So I met them at the Dan Marino Celebrity Golf Tournament, like back in the early or late 90s, early 2000s.
Did Marino hand out isotoner gloves at his golf outing?
I think he did.
He should.
No, he did. He put it in every player's bag,
Yeah.
isotoners and, a CD of, Ace Ventura that he was in, you know what I mean? That came with it.
Yeah, dolphin, whatever that dolphin say. So, but if you were out here golfing and you had 1,000 people lined up on you, that would make you nervous you'd kill somebody.
I actually played in a celebrity golf
You don't get
with
nervous
you.
about anything. No, I remember that.
Yeah, it was me, you, Favre, and the kicker.
Yep. Longwell.
Longwell.
Yep.
And, doing that definitely makes –
Yeah, because
golf is the worst, man. Teeing up in front of a crowd, man, that's not your specialty. Oh, you just pray for, contact.
Just no death.
Yeah.
Like you literally just walk out of the building, I just want to kill anybody.
And even if, we're pretty decent players, and back then I was, but still, that's not your expertise, and golf is just, it's nerve-wracking.
So, Magic, I always love kind of catching up with you. How you feeling? I know you've battled a bunch of stuff, and this is kind of the stuff that, all of us former players, as we get older, it's, how are you doing physically? Because I know it's been a battle, for years.
I had a really rough year, man. I had 3 right shoulder rotator cuff surgeries in the last year.
So you got no sleep
on the same shoulder.
Can't sleep with a rotator cuff.
No, and then, I kept on. I was supposed to be in a sling for 8 weeks after the first surgery. My fault. I felt really good after 6. I took it off, and I was doing things and probably retore. Second time, something happened. It retore again, and then third time we had it. I finally went and saw Pat McKenzie.
Yep.
Packers orthopedic from even when I played, and he set me up with a hand and shoulder guy. Sean Hannigan, shout out in Hand and Surgery Center in Appleton, and he did a great job. Yeah, he did a great job for me, and so I'm recovering from that and just getting to a point where, it's feeling a lot better. But now I'm dealing with lower and back and neck stuff that we don't need to get into. But
I didn't want like your whole hip, but
it's
I just
always
want
something, dude.
I always like to make sure people understand when they're saying, "Oh, guys shouldn't do this and do this," and it is a tough business that you get just get beat up, and you keep seeing it when you come to golf outings like this. I'm always back when I was in my 30s. You're like, oh, and now as I'm getting closer to 50, it's like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I'm 61 now, so it makes it really a lot harder. But, what really I miss so much is, like, when I come to these golf tournaments, I haven't been able to play golf for a decade because of my injuries. It's just too hard. And if I would even try, I wouldn't be able to walk for a week. My back is fused. My neck is fused. I have artificial hips and ankles fused. And go on and on, man. But it's just too hard, and I miss it. So I come out here and support causes like this. But when I'm at a golf tournament, it's the hardest thing to not want to get.
You want to tee it up and compete a little bit, no doubt.
So I hang out at the 7th hole with all the wives, and have cocktails with the wives. I take pictures when everybody comes through at my hole with the foursomes, and that's what I do. So I'm hanging out with the girls, which doesn't suck, but they're a lot of fun.
That's what Jesse does too. That's what Jesse likes doing.
Yeah.
I thought for sure you were going to say that's what Jason does when he's out.
All right, Jason, what do you got?
So, Don, a couple things. And first, I do want to turn serious for a second because of what you just talked about with Tausch, with your shoulder and the other stuff you deal with. Because I know you have been at the forefront of this argument. I have said this repeatedly about the NFLPA, that if you really want to bargain and the NFL owners really want an 18th game on their schedule, then demand lifetime health insurance coverage. Do you think that players are starting to understand that eventually they will be former players like you and like Tausch, who has got his bum knee and can barely play pickleball effectively? Do you think we'll ever get through to the current players who vote on these CBAs to understand, hey, someday you're going to need this coverage and you're going to need it longer than 5 years after you're out of your career?
The reason I don't know if they'll ever really understand, the present players, is because they make so much money nowadays, man, compared to what we did back in the day. And, they have the opportunity to set themselves up so well financially because of the money they're making. I mean, gosh, tens and sometimes hundreds of $1 million. It's crazy. So I don't think they really would ever understand, honestly, when they retire, how bad their bodies will hurt, and how much they will need their insurance. But see, even the current players, they have such way better insurance than what we had. They have so much better, way better pensions. They're going to be fine. If like there's a current player who played 10 years, like when I played back in the day, they're going to be making like probably $1 million in their pension yearly. And back, I don't want to tell you what we make.
Not as much
in a day, but it's not six figures. So it's a totally different day and age. But God bless these young guys, and I'm so happy for them, because this is what we fought for as older players for so long, is for these young, for the guys to be getting taken care of better, and they certainly have an opportunity to be really well taken care of. And hopefully, the hardest thing for players now is just to be smart with their money, because that's the money they're making, they think will never run out. Very difficult.
So I want to get your thoughts on where Jordan Love is as he goes into his third season as the starting quarterback. But I follow you on Twitter, and I have to ask, have you stopped crying from the wedding of your daughter? Because you admitted you were very emotional, and I love that sort of thing. So how are you recovering from the wedding?
That's good. No, you know what? I knew I was going to be emotional when it came to my daughter's wedding, but I didn't know I was going to be that emotional. There were several times during the day, like the first reveal, daddy-daughter reveal. When I first turned around, she tapped me on my shoulder, and I saw her, bawled, and then, walking her down the aisle. Then, of course, my father of the bride's speech, and then the father-daughter dance was the worst. So she didn't tell me what song she was going to play, right? And
was it Poison?
No. Guns N' Roses. No, that's good.
Thanks.
No, it was.
I thought you'd like that.
It was a song by Mariah Carey, "Hero." Then a hero comes along.
Oh man!
And she's singing it to me. And they only last about a minute. They don't play the whole song. But I looked in the audience at all the dads, and when she was singing, like I'm her hero, it was emotional. So yeah, I definitely. But I stopped crying. I'm finally. But every time I hear that song now, man, in my car by myself, I'm start crying a little bit.
Well, congratulations.
Okay.
We are happy for the father of the bride, and I did enjoy that when I saw it over. It was over the weekend, I think. But all right, so two other things. One, let's talk a little bit about Jordan Love, because I know you watch this team religiously. I know you're plugged in. You obviously know a hell of a lot about quarterbacking. What did you see from him year one, year two, and how pivotal of a year three is this for him to kind of really hit his stride, do you think?
Yeah, I think this is the year where he's really going to step it up and really have a full understanding of the offense. He's got a great supporting cast around him, and I think this year will really be the telltale, of what kind of quarterback he's going to be long term, because he had flashes of greatness his first 2 years, but there was also moments that with his body language and his I want to see him get a little more aggressive, a little more fire under his butt, man. Get in the huddle and be a little more controlling. It seems of the situation. Sometimes it just looks like he's a little bit passive, but I guess that's you can't change who you are as personality-wise. You got to be who you are. You can't try to be somebody else. But so he's got to learn within his own personality how to turn this thing and be a great quarterback. He's got the ability, and he's such a smart kid. I love him as a kid. I met him several times. He's a good dude, and I know his teammates love him. So I'm rooting for him big time, man. I love Jordan Love. I do. I love some love.
Magic, is that something that you can learn and get more comfortable with? Were you real vocal right from the jump when you got in that huddle?
Yeah, it's something that you can't teach. You know what I mean? I think especially quarterbacks, you have to have an extreme amount of confidence, not arrogance. I hate arrogance, but you have to have that extreme amount of confidence.
It's a fine line, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't like arrogance. Is telling people how great you are, just an arrogant, how you handle yourself. Kind of like, Jay Cutler was arrogant. My buddy Jeff George, who I backed up for a year in Indy, he was arrogant. And I told him that.
I guess I was looking at it like I can fit that ball through any window.
That's just extreme confidence.
Okay.
And that's cool. Okay. But arrogance is not good. You got to be humble at times, knowing when, you got to accept the responsibility for when things didn't go wrong. But to teach leadership qualities is, I think it's just inborn.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I mean, you can watch other players and learn from them, but you're going to be who you are. You can't try to be somebody who you're not, because your teammates will look and see right through that, and they won't respect it. So hopefully they'll respect you for what you are, and that's the way it works. So.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because Matt LaFleur has said he wants Jordan to be more vocal, and the question that I have is, can you be someone that you're not? And are you asking him to do something that is outside of his comfort zone?
Do you think he can be? Do you think Jordan Love can be more vocal?
So I think, and again, I've covered him now. The first couple of years, we weren't in the locker room because of COVID. Getting to know him, I think he prefers the one-on-one interaction, and I think he prefers not to embarrass or really chew guys' asses out. I think that's how he prefers to go about it.
Yeah, but I think as you gain more years under your belt, you become more comfortable being a leader, because the guys respect you more because you're the guy. Even though he was the guy the last couple of years, it was his first year starting, his second year. Now it's his third year, and he's going to have guys younger than him he's playing with, and they're going to look up to him. So he needs to step up a little bit and take that leadership role to the next level. I think he will. He's got all the tools, and I'm really I'm hoping he does.
So because you mentioned the flashes, and he makes throws, and I think there's so much stuff to love about Love, as you put it, but the consistency and not making the boneheaded mistakes, the lateraling the ball under your hand, and you want to have that. I can make those plays, but you have to understand circumstance. Is that just something that only experience will teach you?
It will, and he's got a bad habit of throwing off his back foot. And
so did Brett, and so did Aaron, though.
Understandably, but there's only a few guys going to be really good at that. And I mean, he's done it, and he's been successful doing that. But I think he could correct it. It's correctable, and something he could work on to be even more effective. So I'd like to see him work on not throwing off his back foot so much. Aaron was ridiculous. Brett did it as well too. So, but like I said, there's only a few guys who can do that consistently for a long time. So I'd like to see him just work on that a little bit.
All right, Don, last thing for you so we can let you go.
Yes, sir. Okay.
I wouldn't go so far as to say we're friends. We've talked a number of times. I always love it when you join us. I do have a favor to ask.
Sure.
Can we get the Kostakos brothers to reproduce the Magic Man poster? Because I don't have one. Do you have one at home somewhere? These
Tausch
are one of the greatest posters ever.
Tausch.
My wife has one. She loves it.
Yeah, Tausch has. Yeah, his wife's got one.
She's a big fan.
We need to recreate.
And she's not out at hole 7 with you today.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No. You know what? Tausch asked me a couple of years ago. He goes, "Dude, I always hear there's this Magic Man poster of you." He goes, "Do you have a picture of it on your phone?" So I finally showed him. He was like, "Okay, that's pretty good." It's just a funny thing. It was a cool thing they did back then.
Yeah.
Whatever your personality was, Kostako Brothers, it was a great payday, man. And we shot that in Lambeau Field, and so that was probably one of the deals that I made the most money of the little money that we made back then.
Well, I think we need to get them to redo them, because I think they would sell very well from a nostalgia standpoint.
Did you see the little skit I did this year for the introducing the opening of last year's season? And Jordan Love was in the skit, and I was in the skit, and I dressed up like that poster in the skit. Did you see it?
I don't know if I did.
It was last year's schedule release.
It was introduced.
Oh, last year's schedule release. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this year's schedule release.
So the Packers called me and they said, "Hey, would you be willing to, maybe dress up in the old Magic Man outfit and be a part of the Packers release?"
And you're like, "Yeah, I have that on all the time." Anyways.
I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I wore that last night, and my wife loves that." No. And no, actually, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to pass because, I mean, I was 25 years old, back then. I'm 61. I'm not putting that on again, and I respectfully declined. And then after I thought about it for a little bit, I'm like, you know what? Hell with it. I'll make fun of myself and have a good time with it. And we did. It was cool.
It is such a great poster, and that era, there are some great ones, and that is one of the all-time greats. So
that is fantastic. Look at
Magic, you're the best, man. We love it when you spend time with us. Thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Great job.
That is the great Don Makowski. I assume Tausch will be having a Coors Light with him at some point in the evening.
Well, I can't speak for Don, but I will have a Coors Light, even when it's a little bit overcast. Coors Light is going to be in my hand when I need a moment to chill. It's born in the Rocky Mountains. It's only 102 calories, and it is refreshing. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
More from the Tellurian Celebrity Golf Outing. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Landworks handles projects of all sizes. From a cozy pocket patio lush with greenery to a grand outdoor hosting space and everything in between. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all of your landscaping needs. The Landworks team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Bree Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman. The summer months are all about activity, but you can't experience that activity if you have pain in your joints. QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for that joint pain. Don't just take my word for it. There's over 50,000 satisfied patients nationwide. It's truly remarkable how Milwaukee's medical direct, Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team are using regenerative cell therapy to restore that tissue in your achy joints. They're utilizing biological growth factors, things I've seen with my own two eyes at the Greenfield location. It's a powerful and potent way to give new life to your joints, repairing that old tissue that's causing all the pain. And the best part, with QC Kinetics, there's no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Give yourself the gift of pain-free living and lasting relief with QC Kinetics so you can do all the things you enjoy this summer. Get your free consultation today by calling QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
Special guests, special locations. It's the Wilde and Tausch Summer Tour. Today, the show's live from the Dells at Trappers Turn Golf Course. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on from the Tellurian Celebrity Golf Tournament at Trappers Turn. Tausch is out seeking out celebrities, since he's not one, to join us as the show continues. If you have not seen, and I will post this next, WLUK, Fox 11 up here in Green Bay, has on their YouTube page the piece they did on Don Makowski joining Poison on stage back at the old Brown County Veterans Arena. It is wild, man. It is awesome. And that was in 1990, as Don said. But man, oh man, he is such a great guy to talk with. I never covered him as a player, but he can do it all, man. He can talk about his daughter's wedding and NFL players' health insurance, and he can talk about awesome posters from the 90s, and he can talk about Jordan Love and give his insights into him. I thought his insights into leadership were really helpful, so we appreciate him stopping by. We are going to have trouble controlling the clock today. Not even Mike McCarthy himself will do a worse job than I will on today's show.
The only thing missing is Bulaga.
Very,
we get Bulaga, we got every button hit.
So what we're going to do is Tausch is tracking down some more of either his former teammates or other Packers from yesteryear. We've had a couple of Packers Hall of Famers already. If you joined us late, if you missed some of this, first of all, as I just posted on social media, if there's ever a time, if you're an 80s or 90s Packers fan, to join us, today's the day. So a lot of other great guests potentially joining us throughout the show. If you missed it, though, then make sure you've downloaded the ESPN Wisconsin app. All new. It's got live listening, which you could be using right now as I'm talking. It's got show replays, which is where you're going to want to go to hear Robert Brooks talking about the history of the Lambeau Leap, or to hear Magic Man talking about his career. Exclusive content. It's all on the new ESPN Wisconsin app. You know the saying, your state, your teams, your ESPN. The Wisconsin sports fans' best way to stay in touch with their favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows and keep up with their favorite teams. It's in the App Store, both for Apple and Android, the ESPN Wisconsin app. All right, we need to take a 2-minute break for the top of the hour, and then we will have another stellar guest joining us from the Tellurian. I'm not going to tell people who it is. You're going to have to stay tuned. In 2 minutes, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. I mean, there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. I've gotten a tip from Jesse that there's some sort of presentation going on. Do I need to use my golf analyst voice? Stepping now to the table at the Tellurian golf tournament. It is the star of We Are Marshall, one of the assistant coaches for Xavier, and oh, by the way, one of the great Packers of all time, and the one guy that I liked covering better than Tausch. It is Dorsey Levens on Wilde and Tausch. Dors, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Man, I thought you were going to say Matthew McConaughey. You said the star, We Are Marshall. I appreciate the love, though. I appreciate it.
Well,
Dorsey, would you ever host a daily show with Wilde for 3 hours a day? Because he would replace me with you in a heartbeat. And I said he ain't crazy enough to do it.
No, I got a gig. I got a gig in Atlanta. But Wilde's my guy, though. I would love that. I wouldn't take your job.
That is nice of you. What makes Wilde your guy? Like, what did you like about him? Is it the earring? Was it the?
Oh boy,
he didn't know anything when he got there. You taught him. Like, what makes Jason your guy?
He has an earring.
He had an earring. Yeah, we'll pull it up on video.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had it was a hoop.
People are cheering about that news.
I feel like he did it himself, and he ended up like having some infection. Like, but that's a whole nother story. He used the potato. We'll see. I'm sure we'll get that pulled up.
Yeah, no, he was just real, and I could have real conversations with him. You know how we feel about guys in the media sometimes. It only takes one bad article. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my boy Bob McGinn. And then you don't want to deal with him anymore. You know what I mean? Wilde was the opposite of that.
Well, congratulations, Jason.
I was fair, and when things didn't go well, one of the great things about covering great players like you guys is that I didn't have to say, boy, did they suck today, because you guys would say it. And I always thought that was the most important thing, is that fans want to know what you think. That's easy to bash you guys from my spot in the press box. But when I ask you and you answer questions honestly like you guys both always did, that gives fans the chance to understand what went wrong and maybe what's going to go right the next time around. Now, I will say this. You and I have been friends for a long time. I have managed to miss you every single time you've been in the state for about the last 5 years. You were there last year a couple of times. I texted you when I was talking to Josh Jacobs, and he was talking about you and the type of player you were and how you're one of the players he patterned his game after. You were at the draft. I missed you there. So I'm glad I can miss you again. It works out perfectly. I am curious, because I know you do watch this team, I'm curious what you make of Josh Jacobs and when you watch him play, because he feels like a throwback type of running back to me who's not afraid to run people over, and I know you were that way as well.
Yeah, I love Josh's game first and foremost. He's like Dorsey 2.0, though. You know, I love his running style and how he runs hard, but I think he's more athletic than I was, and stronger and faster. So I enjoy every aspect of his game.
So, Doris, one of the things Jason and I were looking at, Matt LaFleur came in and he wanted to run outside zone, and that means you're going to line up 5-7 yards deep. You're going to push that envelope. It feels like he likes the duo and he likes running out of gun. Did you have a preference as far as how that went, or is it just for you? What did you like most? You were an outside zone guy, right?
Yeah. I like one back stuff more than anything. For whatever reason. William was
you just didn't like William.
No, William was a great fullback. I only didn't like William. Like once every 3 games, we run 92 lead, and William would go left. And Brett,
he tried to throw the backer off.
But you know what's crazy? You remember H2 split?
Oh, yeah.
That's where that came from, because he would go the other way, and then the linebacker would follow him, go back the other way. So that mistake turned into a real play. But Brett used to always say, he was like, he would come back and he'd go, William went the wrong way, didn't he? I said, how did you know that? He's like, because my eyes would get huge, because I would think that I was going the wrong way. But definitely the one back stuff. I really love draws where I could just wait and just see, because you can pick any hole. You know what I mean? So that was probably my favorite plays.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out, because the play action pass, I think, would you agree, play action pass is a lot more effective if you're under center as a quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
And that, I think, with what LaFleur is trying to do, that's something that I think Josh Jacobs, they're trying to figure that out, because when they went to the duo blocking and they went to gun, that's when Josh really popped. I guess, how do you balance that out?
Yeah, because the two-back stuff is a necessary evil, especially in short yardage and goal line situations. Who is that making all that noise?
That's Gilbert. It's got to be Gilbert,
It's
right?
Gilbert, yes. Yeah. Loudmouth. Big guy. That's my guy, though. I love that guy. What was the question again? I can't all the screaming in the background.
I've been trying to talk real quiet because they're doing the program and stuff. I guess the question is, how do you mix the fact this is something you really like?
Right. Yeah.
You draws, whatever. You love that as a running back, but from the overall offensive system, you want to be able to do everything. How do you balance, this is what I'm really good at, I'm going to be incredibly productive, but I want to be able to have that play-action pass. How do you, I guess, rectify that if you're Josh Jacobs? Do you say, all right, I will figure things out, or is it, man, this is what I do? How would you approach that?
Probably the same way. This is what I do. Just give me the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just and get out the way. For me, like I said, the single back stuff I love more, but I didn't have a problem with the two back stuff. You know what I mean? Especially the misdirection stuff. I thought we were real, like the counters and stuff. I thought we were real good at that. So really, there's really nothing you can do, because we don't call the plays.
Yeah, but they do ask input, and they do. And they're not idiots. They look at it and say, man, Dorsey is running to the left side when we're in one back. We're getting 6.5 yards a carry, and when it's two backs, we're getting 3. They're going to look at that and say, well, this is what we need to focus on, and then is it, we maybe just put some of that other stuff off to the side.
Yeah. It's oh my God,
yeah, he
Gilbert.
is getting into it. Well, you get him and Santana together, man. It's
going
to be loud. It's going to be, there's just going to be a lot of energy.
It's going to be funny, and Gilbert's probably going to cuss somebody out before the
That's what he typically does. Yeah.
That's what he screams at people.
I believe he already apologized, saying, "Oh, I thought I was in the locker room. Sorry." So, I'm listening to this conversation and what they're doing on stage at the same time. This is fun.
Yeah.
Doris, what do you miss most about the locker room?
Just the guys,
Is it
man.
Gilbert trying to get in the sauna and trying to make weight right before the end of it?
Yeah, Gilbert and I, we actually spent a lot of time together.
I was I was a hot tub guy.
Okay, yeah,
sitting at hot tub.
We used to sit in there. Red Batty had a box full of magazines that we would bring into the hot box to try to kill some time. But yeah, man, we Gilbert was way more stressed than I was, because I was never overweight. I just wanted to make sure I can go eat and not have to worry about what, the next morning.
One of those lucky guys.
yeah. But Gilbert would be in there, man. And then he'd get in there Friday morning about 6 o'clock as soon as the building opened up, because, weigh-in was Friday. Yeah. So that was,
So, Dorsey, since Tausch asked you about the locker room, and look, you paid it forward with Amon Green when he came in, right? You were that type of guy. We were talking earlier about Robert Brooks, about how Sterling Sharp didn't really do a whole heck of a lot to help him. Why is it that in the NFL, the good ones, they are secure enough in who they are, but they're willing to help the guy that's essentially there to take some of their opportunities away?
I think it's just my personality. Like I'm not a guy who's like, if you're on my team, I want you to succeed. We're all, there are injuries, things are going to happen. I want you to succeed. In hindsight, it's probably the wrong thing to do because Amon ran me out of town. But and here's a funny story. So I went to Notre Dame with Ricky Waters, so we're still friends. And Amon goes, "Yeah, I used to ask Rick questions." Rick be like, "I don't know, get in the playbook. I ain't telling you nothing. You want to know, you go look in the playbook and go figure it out." And I was like, Rick might have been on to something. You know what I'm saying?
It's another $15 million in Ricky's bank account.
Yeah. And so once AG told me that, the next time I talked to Rick, I was like, "Rick, what's up, man?" He was like, dude was nice, but he couldn't hold on to the ball. And once he figured that part out, he's like, "I wasn't helping him. No, I wasn't going to help him."
So I do have another kind of dynamics question for you, though, because
Wilde, hold on a second, Wilde. Hold
Dorsey's getting called out.
He's getting called out in front of the entire thing here.
I'm doing a radio show on ESPN.
Yeah, Gilbert.
Mind your business. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
You hear him? He's still fussing.
We can definitely hear him. It's part of his charm. So Doris, I know you pay attention to this team. One of the things that's kind of emerged this offseason is that they're talking about 3 guys on their offensive line all competing to keep their starting jobs. The wide receiver room is all about competition, right? And I get it. It is a competitive league, and you don't want guys that are complacent or lazy. But I'm trying to understand, there was kind of a hierarchy when you were playing. It wasn't like everyone was always having to compete for their job, and it was publicly said to everyone. Can you help me understand what the locker room and what competition was like when you were playing? Because this feels different to me when you publicly announce that, say, Zach Tom, who has been your starting right tackle for 3 years, his job is now open, and he's got to win it. It just doesn't, and I wonder if it creates tension in a locker room that is going to be less than ideal for chemistry and culture. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing is that with that mentality, it keeps you way outside of your comfort zone. So you got to constantly work out. You got to get better. You got to study more. You can't get complacent. So if you know that your job is always on the line, then you have to be a little more focused. For me, there was a draft every year. That was enough. Somebody's coming to take your job every scene. I don't need any extra motivation. I don't, because that's just the reality of what it is. But I think that's what it is. You can't let guys get comfortable, and guys will play harder when their jobs are on the line.
So were you that way with Edgar? Like we talked about Amon Green, but on the flip side, you were the young guy coming up that we could all see what was coming in 95 and 96. And yet, obviously, he didn't get lazy. I remember the story of you playing in the mud in the NFC Championship game in San Francisco, right? And you were built for that, and he was an expert at that. So was it a different dynamic for you two, or were you two friends and competitors? How did it work for you guys?
We were better friends when I played fullback than when I got moved to tailback. Once I started getting the ball more and I started making plays, he was out of his comfort zone. And he was visibly out of his comfort zone. Like, he would barely even, like, speak to me or make eye contact with me. It was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable for both of us, you know. But I was like, well, I want to play more, so I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. But he was a starter, and he was good, you know. So he didn't want to lose his job either. So I get it. I totally understand. So there was some tension. There was some tension.
Did it ever break?
No, not really. Not really, because the following year he tore his Achilles in preseason.
Right.
And then he was out that year, and the next year he signed with the Bears.
Yeah.
So there was and then I used to get mad at Edgar because Tausch says, you know, Thursday is a hard day of practice. Yep. And normally if you're sick, what happens, Tausch? If you're sick.
Yeah, you take the day.
But you have to stay at the stadium.
Yeah.
Edgar would have migraines, and he would go home but he would only have them on Thursdays.
Get you. I know. We had a guy that had the sushi strip mall, Jason Taylor, flu. I've seen that before. Those things come up.
I used to get so mad because I was the backup tailback and the backup fullback, and I was still on special.
So you were going to get extra reps.
Thursday was a marathon.
Yep.
You know how many times he did it that year? 4.
5. Ooh, I would have guessed 5. Okay.
And the last time he did it was the week before the NFC Championship game against Carolina. And I bet that if Edgar shows up to practice on Thursday, I don't have that kind of game. You know why I have that kind of game? I'm pissed. Because he's going home, and in my mind, he's watching movies. Him and Mike Holmgren used to trade VHS tapes. So I'm like, Edgar's at home watching a movie while I'm out here taking 85 reps in practice. But then I was like, you know what? It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to go play football. And that's Edgar's responsible for that NFC Championship game.
Thanks. You know that, Wilde?
Yeah, joining us next, that? Edgar Bennett on Wilde and Tausch.
Where's Edgar at?
Dorse, you always tell the truth, man. I know it's one of the great things about you, and that was the further evidence. We appreciate you. Go beat up the great grave digger for us.
I think, Jason, you should get this, as I'm going to take a bunch of time this summer. I think Dorsey should be a cousin's son.
I couldn't agree with you more.
I know he's got other jobs, and he's got all this stuff.
At least once.
Don't you think? One time you come in, work the 3-hour shift.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Right.
We can do it remotely, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can do it from
home.
Jason never leaves his basement.
But listen, if I do well,
I get it. I'm going to go watch movies. And you go have the performance of a lifetime.
Doris, we appreciate you, buddy.
Doris.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Well, there you go. That is Dorsey Levens, one of the all-time greats in Packers history. We've had a lot of them. Hopefully we'll have some more of them. I'm sorry?
Did you know that? You did not know that story.
I did not know that story. I love it when I learn something new.
Yep. Well, life is busy, Jason, and it was busy that Thursday for Edgar, and Dorsey took advantage. Quick Trip, they get it, whether you're craving that fresh coffee like I got here, tasty bakery treat. You got the chicken. How's Becca doing with her chicken?
We haven't started the chicken challenge yet this week. We're doing it next week.
Tenders today, boneless wings. That's $9.99. You got all the great stuff: jumbo onions, bananas, 29 cents a pound. Head on over to Quick Trip now for everything that you need. You can order ahead for pickup or curbside delivery. Quick Trip. We'll see you next time. I am excited to have our next guest come on after the break here, Bryce Paup, who I think is going to be able to give us some great insights into getting those counter moves and doing all that stuff. Can't wait for Bryce. He is going to join us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems. Installation of new or old hoops and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Highlight your long weekend when the Brewers kick off a 3-game series against the Red Sox on Memorial Day, featuring the best way to start summer, Dollar Hot Dog Day. Keep the summer vibes going into the week as kids and seniors can get 50% off select tickets at the game on Wednesday, May 28th. What's better than a long weekend? Brewers baseball and Dollar Hot Dogs. Find your seats today at Brewers.com.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins 2-foot party subs are back. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99. Feeds 5 to 8 people and requires 24-hour notice to order. And now you can complete your party by adding a party chip bag and a dozen chocolate chip cookies for just $4.99. Order today in store, online, or on the app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal & Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal & Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal & Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal & Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Drive into Memorial Day all month long at Cunis. Get the best savings of the year at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis locations in Oak Creek and Greenfield. Get huge discounts on the Buick Envista and Envision SUVs or the rugged GMC Terrain and Sierra. Visit your local dealer website for one of our 10 pre-owned super specials. You won't find deals like this anywhere else. Plus, we have unbeatable service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Brian Bohm, General Manager of Cunis of Oak Creek.
And I'm Bill Eater, General Manager of Cunis of Greenfield.
We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials.
And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear Lifetime Powertrain Warranty, included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases.
Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
Drive into Memorial Day all month long at Cunis.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Special guests, special locations. It's the Wilde and Tausch Summer Tour. Today, the show's live from the Dells at Trappers Turn Golf Course. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
One thing that I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. No, I'm not a highly metaphysical man, but I know when the stars are aligned, you can. Bump into a person in the middle of the road, look into their eyes and you suddenly know. Rocking in the dance hall, moving with you, dancing in and out in the middle of June. My mama told me don't lose you, cause the best luck I had was you. I said, hey, I'll be gone today, but I'll be back from around the way. It seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. But I know one thing, that I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you.
So we've run into a slight technical glitch over at the Tellurian Celebrity Golf Tournament at Trappers Turn in the Dells. Just as we were about to talk with the pride of Northern Iowa, the great Bryce Paup, the former Packers star. We do have some breaking news from the NFL. The Packers' proposal to ban the tush push did not receive the required 75% support from the NFL's owners to pass, according to Diana Rossini, which means that the tush push has gotten a reprieve. It is still alive as of now. I don't know if they're going to have another vote on it or what, but we will. We're working through our challenges with Jesse. Jesse, do we have you guys back at the Tellurian Celebrity Golf Outing?
We are here, Jason. Good to be here.
Great to have you, and great to have. I called him the pride of Northern Iowa. Is that fair? They got to be proud of him down there, right? As proud as they could be. It is Bryce Paup, the Packers Hall of Famer, on Wilde and Tausch. Bryce, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am great. I have to admit, I have been to the Tellurian golf outing before with the show, and I know everyone's disappointed they're not able to golf right now. But man, has it been great for our show. It's been amazing. I'm not sure we would have gotten you otherwise, so we are thankful for the rain in that one way. Do you have history with Tausch? Does he know you? Do you know him? What is your connection with the big fella?
Well, we were just talking about it. My last year was 2000. I think it was your rookie year, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, and I was with the Vikings, and I was playing just pass rush situations, and I went up against him a couple times.
I think I stoned you, right?
Stoned you,
I think I stoned you at the line of scrimmage most of the time.
He had really good feet. I was very impressed.
Now that your alliances aren't with the Vikings, it's Packers and Bills. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes.
Can you admit that you guys pumped in crowd noise at the Metrodome back in the day? Because it made our lives hell.
Yes, I believe they did.
Okay. There you have it. Thank you. No, it was – you understood. I mean, I know you did. But that was such a big advantage.
Oh, it definitely was, because all we had to do was watch movement, and you guys, you're not looking at the ball. We're looking at the ball, and we can see it move.
Yep.
And so it is a huge advantage.
You get on that turf, I'm telling you, that still gives us nightmares playing in that old dump of a Metrodome. But, Bryce, thank you so much for coming on, because all offseason we've been talking about the Packers pass rush. And you, I think, are a great example of someone that you had your skill set, but you kept adding layers to it as you got to the pros. Can you kind of go through, and not that I'm going to have you break down Lucas Van Ness or Rashawn Gary, but both guys really use power. That has been their calling card. And Rashawn Gary had a stretch where his power was, he was overpowering people. Who looked at that NFC game, playoff game against San Fran, nobody could block him. And then guys start kind of figuring that out. Can you guys take us through your process from being a young player where you had your skill set and then what you did to advance it?
Well, when I first came in, I ran the corner. And then, just like you said, people started figuring you out. If you're a one-trick pony, they're going to play to that. And they're going to just kick out wider and wider and wider, especially if you can't go under. Now, if you can go under, then you've got to advance your game and start developing a counter. And that's what I do with my guys that I coach. Whatever you do, you got like a superpower. We're going to develop that and make that really good. Then you're going to have a counter, and you always have the bull. But here's what I tell them. Get on the edge, and then take them underneath. And then you can go to the power, because don't ever, if you're a smaller guy, don't ever go after the power right away, because if I come at you and you can sit on me,
you don't have to worry about it.
Right. You're like, screw this guy. I got him all day long. But what you got to do is get in their head and watch film. Some guys, the wider you get, a dumb offensive tackle, he'll start crossing over and sprinting out there. Well, there's a point where you and him have to come together. And if you can kick and stay in your power base, is what I call it, then advantage you. The advantage me is I know where the quarterback is and I know where I'm going. So then I got to start using that against you.
And you're a better athlete.
Right.
Yes.
You would hope.
Yeah,
anyway.
If you're not, I say if you can't play D-line, it's O-line, and O-line, you're out the league.
Right.
Jason, what do you got?
So, Bryce, you not only did this as a player, but obviously you coached for a long time too, right? So whether it was at the high school level or at the college level. So I'm curious, when you look at what the Packers have, they have, DeMarcus Covington, their new defensive line coach, was talking about how he never coached a first-round pick. Now he's got 4 of them: Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, Rashawn Gary, and Lucas Van Ness. And yet they don't have the production. So if you're, and I'm not looking for you to talk about other coaches and how they do things, but if I came to you and said, hey, Bryce, I was talking to Coach LaFleur, he was wondering if you could come in and give your input on what these guys need to do to be more productive as pass rushers. What's your starting point with them?
Well, first of all, I'd watch film. I would see what these guys are doing, what they're capable of, and then look at the scheme. What is the scheme asking them to do? Because a lot of times you say you're going to be aggressive rushing the passer, but then you tie their hands. It's kind of like different places I've been. We're going to be aggressive, but then if we get beat once, then we got to stop being aggressive and we got to just kind of mirror the quarterback. Well, when you get afraid of a quarterback, you lose. You got to go, and you can't you can't watch exactly where he's at. You can't peek. You got to beat your opponent and get to your point and then find out where the quarterback is, because if you don't, they'll eat you up. And I don't know. I don't have enough time. I'm still coaching, so I don't have enough time to critique them, nor would I want to. I wouldn't want to have somebody come in and critique my coaching. Although I think I do a pretty good job.
That's what the media does. They just critique your coaching.
Right. They're the experts. But, the better – well,
true.
You, to a certain degree, are, because you played at the highest level and were good. So, I can't dispute that one.
Bryce, I guess the question I have is, back in your day, there was Randall Cunningham. You had a few guys that you'd have to really be disciplined with your rush. Now you have to do some mush rushing, and you have to – and that's where some of this, with Jalen Hurts and some of these other guys, Lamar Jackson, you're looking at it and saying, I can't just let these guys go. And how do you balance that? Because you don't want to take away that aggressiveness, but you also are going to get killed if you get washed inside and you let those guys roll out to the right. It's over, because how many guys can catch up? I guess, how do you go with that dynamic?
Well, some of that is scheme-based. You got to make the illusion like you're coming off one side and then come from the other. Make the quarterback think he's in trouble, or that he can get out one side and loop somebody fast coming back around or over the top. There's several things you can do to scheme them up so that it's kind of like smoke and mirrors. And like I said, I'm not going to critique and tell them they're not doing a great job with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I don't have enough time to watch that.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. I look at it and you say, if you could have one speed to start.
Yes.
What do you want to have that speed to power, and that's where I know from an O-line, if you have that pop, and that's why I always welcomed. I wanted guys to bull rush me.
Yeah, right.
It was you have to make those offensive linemen move their feet and get uncomfortable, because winning on the D-line is getting the guy uncomfortable, put him in a spot that he doesn't want to be, just like we want to get you in a spot where you don't want to be.
Exactly. And, some of that is, like I was talking about, you can figure out the scheme, put a D-tackle out at D-end, put the D-end inside, and have that D-end pick for that D-tackle, and that D-end can, come inside out on that tackle, and then have that D-tackle loop back inside and crush the inside pocket while that speed is out on the edge. There's a bunch of different ways you can do that if you're creative enough.
And how fun was it to have Reggie and that crew? Because you obviously had a great career. Reggie White had a great career. How fun is it when you have somebody and they can't say, we'll be in an O-line room, there's pulp, we need to have a target here and we have to chip, and when you bring a Reggie in, all of a sudden it's like, all right, hey, man, you got to hold up. That has to be what everybody's hoping for.
Yeah, exactly. When we got him, that increased our pass rush exponentially. They had to worry about him. And then guys that could beat somebody, on the edge, it gave them the advantage again. Because if they had to slide towards Reggie or chip him or double team him, somebody else was one-on-one, and you were able to take advantage of those situations.
No question. And that's what it's about, right? Did you guys ever Did you see what Reggie's doing? Did you ever try the hump?
Oh, yeah. I stole it from him. But, great ones most of the time can't coach how they do it.
It's too easy for them.
Right. They don't know exactly how to coach it because they can just do it. They're just God-given. And so one time, I was watching Reggie after he was there a couple months, and I was like, hey, how do you do the hump move? And he goes, you come up here and you do this. I'm like, great. That helps. He was a great guy and everything, but I broke it down and studied his film, and I know how to do it. I took it and stole it and used it in my game, and then I coach it myself because I know what the points are of how to do it and to make the offensive lineman turn and run with you. I know where that breaking point is. And so, it's easier for me because I saw it firsthand.
And that's where that speed, when you're working that corner, you get a little bail. All of a sudden, that hump is a lot easier to throw the guy when you get that. What would you say your best, because speed was your deal, what was your best counter in your heyday?
I would say the long arm before it was called the long arm.
Yep.
I would take, it was kind of like a bastardized hump move. I would chop and run the edge, and then I would bring my hand back up because they would never see it coming, and then I'd grab that inside pec and extend it at about 4.5, 5 yards and push them past and come right underneath. So I kind of bastardized it, but it's what I could do.
God, I love this. I'd love to just sit out here because this is where games are won.
Oh, yeah.
This is how it happens. All right, Chase.
Well, I reiterate, thank you for the rain because this has been great. But you said something that I really want to get back to, Bryce, because I think the last time I actually got to talk to you in person was when you were coaching at Green Bay Southwest. I didn't get to cover you as a player. You were already in Buffalo before my first year on the Packers beat in '96. But you said something there that resonated with me so much, and that is that the great ones, it's just natural and they can't coach it. Well, you're a great one, but you can coach it. I mean, you coached at De Pere, you coached at Southwest, then you went into the college game, right? You went back to Northern Iowa. I think you were there a couple of times, right?
Yes.
And now you're at Iowa State.
Yes.
What is it about your experience as a player that allows you to be an effective coach? Because, and I always bring this story up, but Robin Yount, the great Brewers Baseball Hall of Famer, he was one of the great players of all time, but he had to work his tail off to be as good as he turned out to be. And you did too. How crucial is that to being an effective coach? Because I'm guessing Tausch has to do it too, and why he's a good coach at it as well.
Yeah, well, it's exactly what you said. The great ones have to know what their limitations are. And I'm not considering myself a great one by any means because I didn't have Reggie White talent, didn't have Derek Thomas talent, but I was given a few things. I could get off the ball faster than most people, and I had the ability to almost to a certain degree have photographic memory in studying the game because I could look at a formation, and if they only had it twice, I knew the plays that were coming out of it, and I could recall it at the split second. I could recognize it, so I could take advantage of that. My deal was getting off the ball. Then I had to work on it or work at it, and I think most of the kids these days, the problem they have is they've never been told they have to master the art of boredom. Well, what is that? You have to do it rep after rep after rep. It's fundamentals. Day after day after day. I was told, a coach that I had in Green Bay, Greg Blosh, he's up in the UP now. But one of the things I'll never forget, when I started coaching, I asked him, hey, what do I need to be conscious of? And he said, you're not there to basically entertain them. You're there almost to make them a robot. You have to do it day in and day out. And to me, that's what it's all about. They got to master the art of boredom. Coach, are we doing this again? Yes. Are you 100% in the fundamentals or technique? No. Then we're doing it again. No one's ever going to be 100% ever. No one's played the perfect game, but we all strive to do that. And if you're willing to do it rep after rep after rep, and you've got a specific talent, then you have a chance to be great. You don't have to be. To me, my estimation is there's more talent walking the streets than is in the NFL. Why is that? Because everybody thinks you have to be a freak athlete. Yes, but you got to be more than that. He knows this. You got to be able to keep your nose clean. You bust your butt. You have to be disciplined. You got to do it day in and day out. And most people don't.
They don't want to sacrifice.
Right, exactly. Because they see it on Twitter or X. Oh, this guy, he's an overnight sensation. There is no such thing. There's probably 95% of Tauscher and myself that have about the same amount of talent. And the way you get to the top is you bust your ass and you're smart. Consistently. Mm-hmm. You got to produce. And you got to be there all the time. Now, there's 5% that are freak athletes, that like a Derek Thomas, a Bruce Smith, a Reggie White, Thurman Thomas, Cornelius Bennett. I wasn't one of those. So I knew that I had to bust my butt. Plus, basically, I burnt the ships. This football was my way out because I didn't have the easiest childhood, and I didn't have anything else. I had to make it. Mm-hmm. And thank God I stayed healthy. And, now, and I tell people this all the time. If you have pain in your life and you don't rectify it and figure out what it was all about and help people with it, it's wasted experience. But if you can go through it and reconcile it, figure out what that was all about, you can help people through their pain and hopefully get them out of the ditch a whole lot faster than what you got out of the ditch. And that's the reason I coach, plain and simple.
Awesome.
Bryce, you won't say you're one of the all-time greats. We are happy to say that. I don't know if I'd say that about Tausch. She was pretty good, too. We appreciate you making time for us. We love it when we get to talk to you. Good luck this season. And it looks like maybe the sun's out. Maybe you're even going to get to hit a few balls at some point.
Looks like golf is going to happen here shortly.
Yeah, maybe.
Thanks, Bryce.
All right, thank you.
That is the great Bryce Paup, the former Packer and now an assistant coach at Iowa State. We will get to more from the Tellurian golf outing. I want to remind you, if you've been injured in an accident, there's only one call to make. Grubelov says one call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Grubelov says one call, that's all. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit maplehillgolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now's the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no interest financing for 12 months. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote, with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
It's the Wilde and Tausch Summer Tour. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Live for the Wilde and Tausch Summer Tour from Trappers Turn Golf Course.
Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on from the Tellurian Celebrity Golf Tournament at Trappers Turn in the Dells. We got to play a little catch-up here because we've had so many great guests. So, Tausch, if you wouldn't mind, can you tell us about UW Credit Union so we can try and get back on the clock?
Mark Tauscher here. Yes, indeed I will, Jason. I enjoy UW
Thanks.
Credit Union, a great Wisconsin company, partners with the Milwaukee Brewers and the University of Wisconsin, and I'm excited to be a partner as well. People ask me, why did I join UW Credit Union? Is it to keep your banking local? Yep. Is it the member first service? Yep. Do I like great perks? Oh, you know that's right. I do. Everything. But between us, man, I just love being a part with Bucky. And if you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fan will make us do crazy things. Man, this makes sense. So become a UW Credit Union member today. Get your Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
I mentioned this as we were reconnecting with Jesse and Tausch. We have a verdict on the tush push. It ain't going nowhere. We'll talk about it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on two wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
I'm Monica Kessler.
Monica makes sure that everything at Kessler's is worthy of a lifetime warranty.
The quality of your ring is incredibly important when it comes to diamond setting, ring sizing, and repairs.
Monica has been part of Kessler's since she was 6 years old.
Let me tell you how to judge the quality of the jewelry you're buying.
It's easier than you think.
All you have to do is read the warranty.
Most stores offer a 5-year warranty, but Kessler's offers a lifetime warranty, the strongest in the world.
We can do it because we put more gold in your jewelry.
When a jeweler wants to make a bigger profit, they put less gold into the jewelry. This makes it thinner and easier to break.
Theirs might look like ours at first glance, but Kessler's jewelry is made not to break, and that takes more gold.
We give you a lifetime warranty because our jewelry is made to last forever, just like your love.
Gold is more than $2,000 an ounce.
Kessler's gives you more gold, a lot more gold.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tausch here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Save big on your landscaping project at Menards. We're your destination for concrete landscaping blocks. Whether you're installing a patio or adding a new retaining wall, we have the largest in-stock selection ready to take home today. Plus, get free estimates fast using our landscape design program in store or on Menards.com. Save big on landscape blocks when you shop at Menards. And check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
It's the Wilde and Tausch Summer Tour. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Live for the Wilde and Tausch Summer Tour from Trappers Turn Golf Course. Special guests, special locations. It's the Wilde and Tausch Summer Tour. Today, the show's live from the Dells at Trappers Turn Golf Course. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
You can hurt me tomorrow. You can hurt me, 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 you can hurt me tomorrow. You can hurt me tomorrow. You can hurt me tomorrow. Girl, save it for tomorrow. If you could take a rain check on a stormy night.
Wilde and Tausch continues from the Tellurian Celebrity Golf Tournament. Lots of great guests so far. If you missed any of them, go to the ESPN Wisconsin app to catch up. Catching up on the news of the day. The Tush Push still lives. That's by amazing. A vote of 22-10. That's 22 teams voting to get rid of the Tush Push, to be clear.
Wow.
But not the 75%, which was 24, in order to get rid of it. Tausch will talk a little bit more about it in the 11 o'clock hour, but what is your initial reaction? I thought it was dead in the water. And it's not.
Yeah, I feel like that's what Roger Goodell wants. He had Mark Murphy throw the trial balloon out there, and it keeps gaining support. It went from 16 to 22, and maybe Jason Kelce being there, I didn't realize you could lobby.
Yeah, I didn't either.
They hire lobbyists to come in there and push this, and obviously Philadelphia is pushing hard to do it. It's like selfishly what I hope happens is the disaster strikes, not from an injury standpoint, but from the ref at the end of a game has to award a touchdown to someone doing the tush push because somebody keeps jumping off sides, and that team wins by 5 points in a championship game. I hope that happens because it's this whole thing. I get it. We'll stop it. Do all this stuff. It's not aesthetically pleasing. There's no good reason. So I hope that this bites the NFL in the tuchus, and it might.
We will have to wait and see if that turns out to be the case. But per reports, so you only needed 2 more to ban it. They did not get it. Among the teams that voted to keep the tush push, Jets and the Detroit Lions, who also abandoned their reseeding proposal that they had brought to the table.
Wasn't gonna pass.
Exactly. That's exactly what that
I don't know why.
means.
So if I'm Green Bay right now, I am looking at Tucker Kraft being my center, my quarterback on these, and I am bringing in every D lineman, O lineman, and I am loading up, and I'm just saying, let's just get physical and go. That's what you have to over-exaggerate what this is. And let's just do that. And eventually, I think smarter heads will prevail, but what they saw last year and how that played out, if they have to award a touchdown to somebody because somebody smartly is jumping off sides every blanking play on the goal line, I hope that happens. I hope it happens.
Well, they better ensure carefully if they're going to dream fearlessly of keeping this play alive.
Yeah, we love American Family Insurance. We see a bunch of American Family Insurance out here. They're in the community everywhere and a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch for almost 100 years. They've been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection. So you're free to enjoy chasing after your dreams. So insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes. Stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems, installation of new or old hoops, and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. Looking to simplify your everyday banking? Our checking and savings accounts offer the tools you need, plus the friendly, simply local service you deserve. Enjoy competitive rates, 24/7 online and mobile banking, and real people ready to help right here in your community. Whether your checking balance is at midnight or stopping by one of our branches at noon, Great Midwest Bank has you covered with a variety of new and improved account options designed for your unique needs. Great Midwest Bank, simply local and member FDIC.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Hey, I'm Mike with Infinity Exteriors. Over 25,000 homes across Wisconsin were hit hard by this most recent storm. And like clockwork, out-of-town roofers are already flooding in and then disappearing the moment the job's done. Choose local. We live here, we work here, and we stand behind every roof we install. Since 1997, Infinity Exteriors has helped more than 30,000 homeowners protect their homes and their peace of mind with no hidden costs, no fine print, and no confusion. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, live from the Tellurian Celebrity Golf Tournament. Are we playing golf?
It looks as if everybody is thinking about going out. The rain is still drizzling. I'm not gonna lie
Are you
to
playing?
Normally, I get a little bummed when everybody goes. They were supposed to tee off at 10, so I'd be 2 hours late, which is half the round, which I'm fine with.
He likes his 12-hole rounds of golf.
I always think these scrambles should only be 9 holes anyways, because otherwise there's 6 hours, and then they do the pro, all of that, whatever the case may be. Today, I would have been completely content throwing euchre or cribbage in the clubhouse. I'm just being honest with you.
I did hear him say at one point, we should just hang out here and play cards.
Yeah, euchre. I'm not even going to try to play sheephead because there's not enough good quality players.
Yeah,
and
tough to find, sure.
Well, yeah, but I do think euchre and or cribbage. Probably got that great WTMJ cribbage board. We could play here in the clubhouse.
Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment is here. They have casino
Jeffrey's
games.
The man. Yeah, he's always
get
got
some
something.
blackjack going.
He's always
tell him I need to pay for the photo booth when you see him. All right, so Aaron Rodgers is still not the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, correct? I didn't miss a story here. I feel like
as far as we know,
yes.
As far as we know.
But Kay Adams
She's
had
quarterback in the Steelers?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, by the way, I listened to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on my drive-in this morning. Josh DiMaggio said that Kay Adams is bigger than Pat McAfee. And I'm like, listen, Kay Adams is awesome. Kay Adams is great. But come on, man. Like, bigger than Pat McAfee? Are we just now just throwing and making stuff up? Like, there is no way.
Clearly, Josh felt out-taked by me as the producer takes this week. And
I
he
heard
felt
that
like he
I
needed to
text
throw
Big
one.
Cat, like, are you being serious now? Kay's great, and I think Kay Adams is fantastic. But come on, man. Tom Cruise on McAfee today. Tom Cruise.
In fairness, I mean, I know we're not going to have him, but he is doing a lot of press.
Well, they ain't having Bryce Paup.
It's fair.
Who had Bryce Paup on?
Hey, and Dorsey Levens has been in movies before. So I don't know where Kay Adams is in the power rankings.
She is up there. She's grown her brand. She's fantastic. But McAfee's on a different level. He just is.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I thought when Kay Adams left Good Morning Football that she was not going to be anything, and she
was a star.
She's done well.
She is a star.
She's done great.
She gets the hook.
I have a ton of respect for her to have left that show and gone out on her own and have the success she's had with FanDuel and everything else. But I want to get to her conversation that she had with Matt LaFleur. I don't know if it was as long as our conversation was on draft day at the Tundra Trio, but from what I understand, I did not see it. Tausch, you saw this? You were watching it live or came across it on social media?
No, it's social media.
She asked Matt LaFleur.
I was too busy watching Cheers reruns last night.
And Good Morning America this morning.
Love some Norm.
Tausch! Oh, Jason! Here is what Matt LaFleur
said. Who would you have been on? Would you have been
Fraser Crane
on there? Yeah, you're Fraser. I'd be Norm. We don't have a Sam Malone. Not in this crew.
Ben Brust?
I don't even know who Jesse would be. Who's Jesse? Is he Clavin?
Good question. I don't know who Jesse would be. Woody Harrelson?
Jesse might be Diane. He might be Diana in that whole mix.
It's an interesting choice. You know what? Let's do this.
Let's do what?
As we put together our Cheers cast, why don't you tell us about, because we've got another trip coming up to Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Why don't you tell us about that? And we'll hear from Matt LaFleur coming up next from his appearance with Kay Adams. How's that sound?
That sounds like a great idea. Hard Rock Casino in Rockford. That is also a great idea. Features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, including more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, a sportsbook, and a rock shop. Also showcases museum-worthy collection of more than 500 pieces of authentic music memorabilia. I don't know if Magic Man gave his guitar when he was playing with Poison, but Cheap Trick and Eddie Vedder, the Blues Brothers, and Taylor Swift. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
What advice does Matt LaFleur have for Mike Tomlin if Aaron Rodgers is going to be his quarterback? Am I reading this correctly? Did he actually give advice? We'll find out next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker. It's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop stab. That's his favorite. And the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Truck drivers, the job you have today might not be the one you want tomorrow, and that's okay. At Schneider, our transfer team is here to help you if you decide the job you picked isn't the right fit, or if you come across life changes that require a different schedule or home time. Last year, nearly 2,000 Schneider drivers transferred to different opportunities at the company that better met their lifestyle. Find the driving job that fits yours and your family's needs. Apply now at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
You know, the other day, you threw out an idea of why do we still call the Cowboys America's team? And one of the owners of the Washington Commanders yesterday said, we're America's team.
Major E. Harris, yeah.
Smalls was onto something.
Mm-hmm. Washington does feel more like America's team. Think about it. They are more of America's team. This is a once proud franchise that went through hard times, and now they've found their way again. America loves an underdog. We love a team or a player that claws their way back. And that's what it feels like this franchise has done. During the Dan Snyder era, it was abysmal. It was horrific for those fans. And we also love a star here in America. Mm-hmm. And what star is shining brighter than Jaden Daniels? He's right up there with the best of them.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Tausch and Jesse continue live from Trapper's Turn in the Dells for the Tellurian celebrity golf tournament. All right, so I don't know. I have not heard this.
Kabir Baja-Biamila is going to join us next, Jason.
Great. I got all kinds of questions for him.
Oh, I bet you do. That's going to be a digital only with just you two.
Okay. Is Brett Favre going to join us too, or no?
No, I was hoping Brett is going to be here later. So, yeah, I know you were hoping to get him on today, too.
I definitely have some questions for him. There's no doubt about that. The question that Kay Adams had for Matt LaFleur was whether or not he had talked to Mike Tomlin about Aaron Rodgers. Am I correctly presenting that now? There was no advice proffered.
No, I don't know. I didn't hear it.
That is what I heard. I believe she sets up the question in the soundbite
I was
we're
listening
about
to McAfee
hear.
instead. So
Okay. Well, he's bigger than she is, from what I understand. Yeah. All right. Well, here it is. Here's what that conversation sounded like on Kay Adams' podcast.
Week 8 Steelers, I know you've talked about the Aaron Rodgers stuff. Has Mike Tomlin asked you anything about Aaron? Like when you guys are doing your off-season wine tastings or get-together as coaches, has he asked you about Aaron?
No, nothing. And neither has Arthur. So Arthur Smith, their OC, I haven't heard from either of those guys in regards to him. I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing. I'm sure they're confident in what they're doing, and I would fully expect him to be a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Wow.
Oh.
That's kind of juicy fruit. That's a little juicy fruit.
Does anyone
It's
not
juicy
expect him to be a Pittsburgh Steeler right now?
Yeah, I don't know what the holdup is. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if he doesn't play.
Still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, why wouldn't he be there?
Because he doesn't like the off-season program anymore, and he's a newlywed, allegedly.
But he changed that tune when he left Green Bay. And he knows, got new wideouts.
So he went to Egypt.
He knows what it takes. That Egypt story, get out of here with that. That's still his hogwash. He was there the whole playing time. I'm out on that. I'm not going to jump into that corridor of foolishness.
Rubbish!
Okay?
The corridor of foolishness.
That's the corridor of foolishness. Oh, my God. He's there for 12 weeks. He told you from the jump he wasn't going to be there. And y'all just move it. Star players get stuff. Hey, star players get stuff. That ain't why they stunk last year, okay?
Plover is the potato corridor, and the corridor of foolishness is Egypt.
And you got the ginseng spy. Like, you know, come on. So I don't know where that is going, but I think – at this point, I'm not going to be shocked if he doesn't play. I know everybody is assuming he will. Yeah, I mean, if I was betting, I would say he will end up playing. But you're going to be shocked if he comes out and says, you know what, man?
I am.
I was able to play 17 weeks. It was a bummer of a year, but I don't see it that way.
I have such a hard time picturing him walking away on a season like that.
It could get worse. It could get worse. Then if he blows something else out, is he going to be, I don't want to finish that way? Like, there's worse things that can happen than you have a subpar year and you finish your career off. Like,
yeah, I
you
think
have to look at this thing big picture.
Okay, I am. It is not rubbish or hogwash.
You think he can still lead a team to a championship?
I think he can lead a team to the playoffs.
He's going to be motivated.
I think he played.
That's not what I said.
I think he played better than he gets credit for last season. I think the narrative about him stinking up the place is inaccurate. I think he'll be another year removed. I know another year older, but another year removed from the Achilles.
All that's true. But you know when you watched, he was not, and you started seeing some of that escapability leave. And quarterbacks will always, Dan Marino, doesn't matter who you talk to, they all know they can still wing it. It's about, can they still move? Can they still do it with their legs? Arms stay, legs go. Arms stay, legs go. What's the old adage?
In the corridor of foolishness.
Magic, even with all his shoulders and everything. And I know he's got
his
stuff,
arms go. His arms go.
But Lynn Dickey'd sit here and tell you, man, if you protect, I could still wing it. I'd still wing it, but he can't move.
He had 3 rotator cuff surgeries, but he was walking around just fine.
I excluded the Magic Man. Okay.
All right. I'm not going to underestimate Aaron Rodgers. I'm just not going to do it.
You don't have to underestimate him, but I think it's
sounds to me like you think if he comes back, he's not going to be very good. That's what you sound like.
If you're asking me if I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are legitimate contenders with Aaron Rodgers, the answer is no.
Do you think
Aaron
they will
Rodgers
make
put up stats?
Do you think they will make the playoffs if Aaron Rodgers is their quarterback? I say yes.
I'm going to say no.
Okay. Check the
What would
tape.
make you think that? He just had a better roster last season with all the coaches he picked.
I think Mike Tomlin, while not as good as people believe him to be, is a really good football coach. It's why he's never had a losing season. And I think there will be a structure in place, and he will be better than he was last year when he wasn't that bad.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. I'm not saying he was bad, but you're not equating, and I think this is where your biases lie. You want him to because it's a story you want to tell.
No,
it's
true,
not.
And
you know it.
No,
Okay.
Look, I have
All
to.
right.
I will now. Am I going to go to Pittsburgh if he's not the quarterback? I don't anticipate that. If he is the quarterback, do I think we'll probably make a road trip? Me and Wally Lukaczynski and the KBN guys, and hopefully you guys. Yeah, I think that would be fun. It would be a great story.
Great steaks, great steakhouse.
Yeah, pierogies, etc. But do I believe that he wants to play more? Down deep in his heart, yes. Do I believe he thinks he can be much better than he was last year when he wasn't that bad? Yes. So I want to see that.
Do you think he realizes he should be there during the offseason then? Because he learned that lesson from his last years in Green Bay?
Yeah, that's a great question. My last 2 texts to him, I did not get a reply. I would love to have that conversation with him, but I won't have that chance. All right, because we have the Brewers again today, we
Pat
need to
Murphy's
shift
still
gears.
managing, right?
Going for 4
He
in a
is
row.
having a lot of
All right.
success thanks to Jesse
He's
the Motivator.
Way
You
to
can
fire
find us
him
on
up.
the
You're
YouTube
welcome.
channels. You can find us on ESPN Milwaukee. We will switch over. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
Looking for a Milwaukee tradition? It's Saz. And for nearly 50 years, Saz's have been serving up award-winning ribs that'll make your taste buds dance. Don't miss our festival-famous mozzarella marinara, the appetizer that put us on the map and keeps Milwaukee coming back for more. Whether you're heading to a game or just catching up with family and friends, make Saz's your place to go. 55th and State. Saz's, where memories are made and stories are shared. One delicious bite at a time. Saz's State House, the finest. A Milwaukee tradition since 1976.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman. The summer months are all about activity, but you can't experience that activity if you have pain in your joints. QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for that joint pain. Don't just take my word for it. There's over 50,000 satisfied patients nationwide. It's truly remarkable how Milwaukee's medical direct, Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team are using regenerative cell therapy to restore that tissue in your achy joints. They're utilizing biological growth factors, things I've seen with my own 2 eyes at the Greenfield location. It's a powerful and potent way to give new life to your joints, repairing that old tissue that's causing all the pain. And the best part, with QC Kinetics, there's no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Give yourself the gift of pain-free living and lasting relief with QC Kinetics so you can do all the things you enjoy this summer. Get your free consultation today by calling QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC, Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Born in the heart of the earth, natural diamonds rise up like the notes of a song from the throat of Mother Nature.
Rick, that was positively poetic. Mother Nature sings diamonds.
Sarah, wow, you can sing.
Born in the heart of a plasma chamber, created diamonds fall softly like snowflakes from the heart of a star.
A star that shines like true love.
Natural diamonds are earthborn.
Created diamonds are starborn.
Kessler's has the largest selection of natural diamonds in the state of Wisconsin. All the different sizes, all the fancy shapes.
Give her a fancy diamond.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
Bigger, brighter natural diamonds.
And financing that makes anything possible.
Kessler's is the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America.
Which means we can do anything we want to do.
For you.
Mother Nature sings diamonds.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Why settle for just the job when you could have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee new car dealer members have service, technician, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.jobs. That's ADAMM.jobs.
It's the Wilde and Tausch Summer Tour. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Live for the Wilde and Tausch Summer Tour from Trappers Turn Golf Course.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on from the Tellurian Celebrity Golf Tournament as the golfers are now headed onto the course, it would appear. Tausch will be joining them a little bit later. Before we get to Whoa Nelly, the first thing I thought of when I saw the tush push news and that the vote was 22-10, meaning 22 teams voted against it, but not the requisite 24 teams. 22-10 was also the score that the Packers lost to the Eagles by in that NFC playoff game. I'll be curious to see. Here's the thing before we get to Whoa Nelly.
Is that a score?
I understand, and Mark Murphy doesn't want to flat out say that this was him doing a favor to the commish. But every one of these tweets that I'm reading about this, or every story I'm reading, it's got the Packers' name on it. Every single one. Packers proposal. Tausch, does that in any way bother you?
Not even.
Because it basically makes it Packers versus Eagles on this subject, even though 21 other teams voted to get rid of this play.
Yeah, no. I mean, I can understand why people would say that, and I'm sure that'll add a little juice.
I think some
to a
Packers
rivalry, and if I'm being honest, the Packers need a little more
it.
juice. Packers need more juice in this rivalry. Sick of the Eagles shoving it up our you-know-what. You know what?
Your tush.
To blank with it. Let's just go whoop them. They'll shut them up. 21 other teams. This was obviously this was asked, and because it didn't feel like LaFleur really gave two rips one way or the other. I don't know where Goody's head was on it, but again, I just hope that this happens, and the league is going to be sitting there with the draws down. That's what I hope happens.
Well, what happens next on this show? Speaking
how about
of
this? The
drawers
onside
down,
kick, you can now kick any point. I saw that passed. You're behind, you can line up and kick an onside kick. They can't make their mind up. They can't make their mind up.
I could make up my mind and say, even though we've switched to Milwaukee, where normally Josh DiMaggio is put in the awkward position of hosting a Whoa Nelly segment, we now have Nelly for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
Hey, Joshy, how you doing?
Ooh, you're coming in hot.
Happy to be here with you, Jesse.
The Milwaukee Brewers have won 3 consecutive games since I asked at Pablo's birthday bash on Saturday night if anyone needs to start asking a question, or at what point do we start asking a question? They've beaten the lowly Orioles, trying for their first series sweep of the season this afternoon. 12:10 first pitch at American Family Field. Tausch, from what you've seen of the Brewers, because I think lost in the conversation about what I did or did not say, we've had a little bit of a Brewers conversation from it. Have you seen enough from the Brewers to believe they are a playoff team again this year?
No, I got an open mind on it. I was not calling for guys' jobs. Baseball's hard. They are not hitting where they need to be. The pitching actually has been better than I think we anticipated with some of the injury and some of the things that they've had to deal with. But I think it's the Cubs division to win. And then can you sneak in as a wild card? And when the West is where it's at, I feel like you need to win your division or you're not going to make the playoffs. That's where I see this thing going.
Jason, if you watch the Brewers, listen to them. 620 WTMJ, 100.5 ESPN Madison.
I have been a skeptic, and it's not because of the manager. It's because of the losses in recent years of people that they have fought against the tidal wave of being a smaller budget team. And I thought that this was going to be a reset year, and they weren't going to make the playoffs from the very beginning. So if they do, great. I'll be happy for them and happy for Pat Murphy. But I've been a skeptic from the very beginning, and my expectations have been lower than yours.
Whoa, Nelly. Flag football at the Olympics. What do we think?
On board. I think it's great. Glow the game globally. And it's fun. The players are going to eat this up. It's going to be a battle to get on this spot. I don't know how many teams they're going to get, how many American teams. I know they're only allowing one player from each NFL team, and there's going to be injury concerns, obviously, and that's wise for people to have that. But I think it will be great to grow this game. And I was on with Vinny and the boys this morning on my drive over. And, Jason, you remember back when this show started in 2016 when I talked about the International Game Week. Every week we would have a spot, and we would get sister cities. Do you recall that conversation?
I very much clearly do. Yeah, I love that idea.
I think that is what this is trending. And then the question is, I would think that the Green Bay Packers would have a sister city in Germany. That would be my guess.
Yeah, sehr gut, yeah.
We could drink in the beers, and you got the bratwurst, and it just makes a ton of sense to me.
God, I love your
I don't know if it's going to be Bonn or Berlin or Munich or I don't know.
München.
That is what I think is going to happen, and then you allow that team and that country to embrace your football team. You go spend 2 weeks, you work out, you get in the community, you grow the game. That is where this thing is going. And I hate to say it, but I was 9 years ahead of the curve.
So
don't say you hate to say it, though.
I want other people to say it.
Let everybody know.
I want other people to say it, but then you guys pay attention, so I have to do my own.
I asked you about flag football at the Olympics. My next topic was Roger Goodell teasing a potential 16-game international schedule.
Yeah, I read the show sheet. Olympic stuff.
No, you don't.
That's 2 days. That's 2 days old.
Does the Olympic stuff correlate to the 16 games?
Yes.
So those two things are connected here.
Somewhat. Yeah.
Jason?
I have no. I'm still trying to believe that Tausch is reading a show sheet. No,
I've been observing him. I don't think he's been reading something. I don't think it's a show sheet though.
Look, I am on board with this idea. I think Tausch is 100% right. It is going to be great to grow interest in the game. I mentioned this not with Vinny and the boys because I'm only on with them when Tausch is off, which is somewhat frequently.
Yeah.
But
got another big break coming up.
It is. We can't wait. Dorsey Levin's going to be a cousin sub one of those
I think
days.
Dorsey will be a great cousin sub.
We'll get him for a day.
It won't be that story. I'm shocked. I don't know if that story's been told.
I don't think it had. I had never I knew.
I don't think Edgar's going to.
I knew that there was a time.
I think that's going to be the case.
I knew there was a time where things were not hunky dory between them. I wasn't quite so sure. I'll have to check with Edgar. He will not be a cousin sub of the day, I'm going to guess. But In terms of the flag football, I mentioned this. I think I mentioned it to Jim, Matt, and Molly when I was on with them. I'd have to play Where's Wilde to figure it out. But, look, they are pushing flag football as a girls' sport. I know that the WIAA, which doesn't make as many great decisions as I would like them to sometimes, that's something that there are high schools pushing for that to become a girls' sanctioned sport. And I got somebody who likes to throw the football around in my house, so I am curious to see if that part of flag football grows. If you have it in the Olympics, I would argue that that's going to only help that version of football to grow exponentially. Whoa, Nelly.
There's an article up at ESPN. Thanks, Josh. We do have an article up. We have an article up at ESPN.com today from Mike Clay, ESPN NFL analyst. I think he's one of the fantasy
Clay
guys
Matthews.
Also. No, Mike Clay. It projects the 2025 NFL rookie leaders in 10 statistical categories. One of those statistical categories, receiving yards and touchdowns among wide receivers. Number 1, Ted McMillan with the Carolina Panthers. But number 2, Matthew Golden of the Green Bay Packers.
Number 3, Savion Williams.
Travis Hunter with the Jacksonville Jaguars is number 3. And then actually 2 other names that were linked to the Packers leading up to the draft. Jack Besh of the Raiders and Jaden Higgins of the Texans. But Golden projected to be the second best rookie wide receiver. This isn't the first time we've heard this since he's been drafted. Different projections.
That's the first time we've heard he's second. We heard he was first the last time.
Yeah, Mike Tannenbaum was big on him the last time we talked about this. Are we setting proper expectations?
Jordan Love is still holding on. He's trying to get $70 million.
Wow.
Is what I heard from Tannenbaum.
Are we setting expectations fairly for Matthew
That's
Golden?
a great callback.
I just was distracted by Jason laughing.
He was saying you did
Jason,
something.
Thanks for laughing. I like
You
that.
did a great job.
Like
great callback.
Matthew
It's a great
Golden
callback. It was really good.
I agree. Matthew Golden should lead the league as a rookie receiver. I don't know about McMillan, and I don't know all of the other. Obviously, I don't follow that, but Matthew Golden is positioned to be wide receiver 1, and I know from the Kay Adams interview with LaFleur, they don't care about wide receiver 1. Yeah, they do. And he is positioned where he can be that guy. Maybe McMillan can, maybe Hunter can. I don't know. I would bet that. I would say right now that if Golden should have more catches than Travis Hunter. Golden should have a bigger impact because I don't know what they're going to do with him yet, if they're going to play him DB and why. We know he ain't playing DB with Green Bay. We know he's going to get opportunity on top of opportunity to be the guy or one of the guys. He should lead the league as a rookie. He should be the leading rookie receiver in the league this year. If not, I feel like people are going to be disappointed.
I don't know if that's going to be the case. I am still going to be a believer in Jaden Reed. He's led them in receiving each of the first 2 years. I do think you talked about the motivation of Aaron Rodgers. I think Jaden Reed is very motivated. And if they are going to take, even though he doesn't sound like maybe he likes the idea, if they're going to take the unnecessary hits off of him on the jet sweeps and let Savion Williams, who's a bigger cat, take those hits and give him more opportunities to actually catch footballs instead of getting walloped by giant defensive linemen and linebackers who are coming after him on runs, I think he's still going to be super productive. And if Matt LaFleur meant what he said last year about getting him more involved down the stretch and then it didn't work, I'm going to guess that he's going to look at that as, I don't have Christian Watson. It's great that we've added Matthew Golden, but I don't know what he's going to be capable of as a rookie. I think Jaden Reed is going to be the guy that he rides with, and I think he still believes in him, regardless of the story about his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, wanting clarification on his role.
Jason, do you know which wideout was targeted the most last season for the G&G?
Jaden Reed was targeted 75 times, if I remember correctly.
How many times was Wicks? targeted? Is it more?
I will have to check that. Do you know?
Okay. I thought, and again, this is Twitter, so take it for what it's worth. I thought when I saw this, I thought, I can't
76.
believe that. So it was more than Jaden.
One more.
Wow. Is that not an amazing... That makes me, and I know that whole separation analytics, and maybe you might be onto something with your Wix pick.
Yeah,
maybe your Wixie Pixie might be onto something.
Here's the problem with that.
Okay.
Wixie. He had 39 catches.
That's
on
not
76
But he
targets.
gets all this separation on his
He does,
routes.
no doubt. Look, I'm still standing by my guy. I am still a believer in him.
You should be.
But Jaden Reed had 75 targets, and he caught 55 balls. So he had one fewer target, 16 more catches. And he had a crap ton of drops, too. He had more than Wicks ended up with. He ended up
more
with 10 drops.
Dropapaloozas than Wixie?
Yes. Reed, 10. Wicks, 9.
I don't think most Packer fans. I know me. I was shocked when you gave me that stat on explosivity last year.
Yes.
Because it didn't.
You were
It
shocked.
felt like it was Chunk City, USA. Like, oh, we'll just do this. Blah, blah, blah. That surprised me. And the fact that this stat that I read from someone's Twitter, and I apologize for not citing whose Twitter it was, that Wixie was the most targeted. That is very, very surprising, too.
So Wicks had 76 targets, Reed had 75, Dobbs had 72. So they're all within 5 of each other.
Yeah, that's a well spread out operation.
Whoa, Nelly!
Whoa, Nelly! We went a little long there. I was going to ask about sneaking food into movies. I wanted to throw Hunter and Pablo under the bus, but
what'd they do?
They were scheming. They went to go see a movie together last night, and coincidentally, Becca and I and her friends are going to see the same movie tonight.
Mission Impossible?
No, it's called Sinners. Sinners. Heard it's very good. But they snuck. They were taught. I don't know if they ended up doing it or not, but they were scheming about bringing outside food, tucked under the sweatshirt and whatnot, into the movie theater. IPT.
Not very classy, that's for sure.
IPT.
If they can figure out a way to sneak in like a Slurpee or something that in one hand and a pretzel in the other, then I'd be more impressed.
Josh seems like someone who snuck something into a movie in his time.
Why do you say that?
Just the vibe I get. Josh, am I right?
Casting aspersions.
I feel like I'm right on this
I
one.
think Josh wants to slap the you-know-what out of you when you say things like that. Josh, am I accurate with that?
You got that damn right, Tausch. I've
know
never
that's right.
snuck anything into a movie theater either.
I don't buy that.
I don't care enough.
There you go.
You just buy it, whatever. It's a couple extra bucks. You'll be fine.
Yep. That's.
I'm cheap. I may have brought in my own candy from time to time.
And that's the way it is. Now, if there's
All
a
right, we're
food
gonna
that you
wrap
really
things-
want that they don't have, like chicken wings, I don't know, a lot of movies they don't have. It's a tough eat. But if
It's
you
a
can't,
tough
sneaking
you
chicken
How are you
wings
sneaking
into a
in chicken
movie.
wings?
you can't bring like dots into the theater. You can't bring your own popcorn into a movie theater. You can't do it.
But you want to bring prime rib in?
You know what I'm saying?
go
If you
for it?
really have a hankering
What?
for like a chicken wing, that would be, and then you have to be creative how you get it in there. I can buy that, but I'm not buying the other stuff.
If you're going to sneak chicken into a movie, stop by Quick Trip on your way to the theater, grab some of the tenders. They're much easier to get underneath your shirt than chicken wings. All right, we need to wrap things up from the Tellurian Celebrity Golf Tournament. I am right now on bucks.com/plus, and I'm looking at all the different episodes of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus. It all started with the 5-part series on the Giannis documentary, The Marvelous Journey, right? Talked to a bunch of people involved with that. Then there was the Brandon Jennings story in 4 episodes. Now Then there was the going for gold, talking about the Olympics and the opportunities that Bucks players had at that. And now it's the Damian Lillard story. All of it is there for you. If you want some summer listening, you can get caught up on all of the Behind the Bucks podcasts. You can find it on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, a terrific partner, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance, world-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Highlight your long weekend when the Brewers kick off a 3-game series against the Red Sox on Memorial Day, featuring the best way to start summer, Dollar Hot Dog Day. Keep the summer vibes going into the week as kids and seniors can get 50% off select tickets at the game on Wednesday, May 28th. What's better than a long weekend? Brewers baseball and dollar hot dogs. Find your seats today at brewers.com.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years from their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
The Brewers lose 2 of 3 to the Minnesota Twins over the weekend at AmFam Field. But in their lone win, the game was iced late by defensive play from Jackson Churio.
Here's a fly ball, left center field. Churio on the run, at the track, at the wall, jumped up. Jackson Churio brought it back! Oh! Jackson elevated above the wall, and he pulled back the home run.
The Brewers enter this week in 4th place in the NL Central, looking to start to climb their way out. They're at home for a 3-game set against the Baltimore Orioles, Monday through Wednesday.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Special guests, special locations, It's the Wilde and Tausch Summer Tour. Today, the show's live from the Dells at Trappers Turn Golf Course. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We got to get out of here. Tausch has got to get on the golf course. I am curious briefly, Tausch.
Throw some uke.
That's fine with you and Jesse.
Groggy and yeah.
Is it? You're the king of IPT. Is it IPT for the Eagles to have lost this vote 22-10, 2 votes shy of the tush push being banned, be taking all this victory lap on social media?
To the winners go the spoils. They didn't lose. They won. What the hell? What are you talking about? They can still do it.
They lost the popular vote,
but
they won the election. Yeah.
They won. They get to execute what they want to do. They won, and they can shove it up our faces because we put our name on it.
How are you not saying push it or whatever?
Tush, tushes,
Tushes.
Yeah, we'll have to address that tomorrow. We're out of time. Thanks.
I'm not interested.
Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes